Gonky, you look
perfect. Yeah, I'm sitting this one out, guys. Yeah.
Hey,
bye-bye.
Nope, still wrong. Nope, still wrong.
Moving
All right.
show.
Hi, Casmo. Welcome back to our show. It's not a professional operation still.
Nothing's changed.
Better than anything I got.
How you been, man?
Good work. I've been good.
We've
been busy.
We've been trying to get you on for like 2 months, and
I know I've been working like every Monday. You just keep texting me and asking me, and I said, "No, busy. Stop talking to me."
Sounds like a scheduling issue to me. You should
it
tell us.
sounds like your priorities are all wrong.
That's right.
I can make money or I can sit here. I can't do both.
How's that going? How's your money-making enterprises?
I make enough to survive.
Survive.
Tough out there on the streets.
You probably make more than Gonky.
Oh, everybody makes.
I already know I do. Yeah,
everybody makes.
I already know that.
The real question is, do you pay more taxes than Gonky makes?
Probably, yes.
Yes. More than he makes. I
think you do.
We'll compare numbers after the stream.
Not hard, man. It's not hard.
No. Gonky, how are you?
I'm good. I'm
A
good,
little
man.
bit of struggle bus today.
I'm busy, man. So if I was a rich airline captain, I would pay somebody to replace the ball joints on my truck. But I tell you, man, you think you're in shape until you're swung a 10-pound sledgehammer for an hour straight trying to get an axle off. I'm hurting.
Yeah.
So
there's no other tool that's more sufficient for this.
No, my brother or my buddy, who's a professional mechanic, he said go get a 10-pound sledge, and he said you have to hit it like you're trying to kill it. So it's a great workout.
Did you win?
I won. I got it off, so to speak. Yeah. And then other than that, man, just doing the dad thing, riding motorcycles with my son, hanging with my daughter. She's getting fun, and yeah, it's been good, man. I can't complain other than the body aches.
Yeah. Douglas, welcome back.
Thank you.
Great.
Good talk.
Thanks.
Were you hoping for some commentary?
Thanks for all the words. Thanks for all those words, Doug.
I support Gonky's struggle. I had to replace a starter in a hardware store parking lot just recently.
Oh, it's horrible. I know.
Not fun.
Yeah. See, Mover, this is how the other side lives, dude.
I can't relate.
I know.
All right, cool. Good talk.
How have you been, Mover?
Okay, all right. Hold on. I was about to do what's more important. What generates or what does not generate? Yeah.
Is what's more
How have I been?
Already paid.
Yeah, I don't know. Casmo bullied me from having a beard when we first showed up. So
I didn't bully you. I said it was magnificent. I'm proud of you. I want this. I want this in my life.
So Casmo didn't know that Mover is no longer.
Unemployed.
Yeah.
Am I unemployed? Is that considered unemployment? I don't know.
I mean, you're making money right now. You pay taxes.
How many jobs do you need?
You're self-employed.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I'm good, man. I don't have anything fun or awesome to talk about, really.
Yeah.
Kind of boring. I'll think of something later. I'll be like, oh, I should have said that. And then nobody's going to care. I should write it down.
Did you do any flying?
I flew last week. I flew last Tuesday on law enforcement missions.
Any arrests?
No, we went to a 6-vehicle crash with a motorcycle.
Ooh. Oh, no.
Yeah. Guy was walking around, though, so he's okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's good. I mean, when we heard it come out as a motorcycle, we're like, ooh.
Yeah. Tweener.
Yeah. You guys on your bikes.
I know.
I did experience, though, and Casmo, I don't know if you know this, but for us helicopter bubbas, the FAA has come out with an interim rule until I think December, and then it may be permanent, that you can no longer have visual separation between helicopters and IFR traffic in congested airspaces like Class D with a Tersa, Class Charlie, Class Bravo, Class Delta.
For every action, there's an equal and opposite overreaction.
Yeah. So like we were going to a call and we needed to cross center line, and there was a T6 on final and traffic in sight. And they said, doesn't matter. I need you to stay west of the runway until the T6 landed.
Oh,
like
wow.
We could not cross until the T6 landed. And she apologized, and I'm like, okay, but
it's not her call.
Like,
Right.
you're going to do what you're going to do, and just let me know when it's time I can go, because I don't want to.
Does that apply to everyone? Like even medevac copters? I wonder. Wow. No, I didn't know that.
Any helicopter traffic.
Oh shit.
Wow.
No visual separation. Now they can IFR SEP, but I mean,
That's
most of the
right.
time when you're in a helicopter, you're flying around VFR.
Yeah. I have like 6 whole hours of IFR in a helicopter. So
Yeah.
At 400 feet.
Right. With the little thing on.
Yeah.
With the blast shield down, I can't see anything. Yeah.
But we're going to talk about some helicopter versus airplane stuff, because obviously people are hyperventilating because United saw a Black Hawk,
Oh.
got an RA.
United should pay more attention to how they board than anything else, because it's trash. If you're watching United, your boarding system is trash.
Only the people in Recurrent watch our show.
That's true. Yeah. Don't end up on this show and then there's our face. There's our
Yeah.
face.
Yeah. So
Anytime I get tickets for United, I'm like, oh, God damn it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like the way. There's something about it. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but the way they board, it's just feels like this is the last helicopter getting out of Saigon. Get on it or you're toast. Like there's just huge lines. Everyone else, it's orderly. It feels right. United's like just get in line.
Yeah.
Everybody just go.
Are you sure you're not flying Spirit?
No, I've never flown Spirit ever.
Well, they had a threat. Are we talking about that threat, Gonky?
It's buried somewhere in the list, but
Yeah.
I mean,
They had a little bit of an ordeal themselves.
no, that was Frontier, sir.
Frontier, whatever.
The
Potato,
other.
potato.
Yeah.
Yes.
West
Different
Coast
color.
Spirit, West Coast Spirit, and East Coast
Yes,
Spirit. I mean,
exactly. The other one. The Spirit with the animals on the tail.
Oh, we're gonna get some
Mountain
shades, Ron.
Spirit. I'm sorry.
Mountain
I got the wrong Spirit.
This one's got a liger on the tail.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
One's a little bit more dangerous than the other. But yeah, we got a show today. So
This is it.
we should talk about stuff. Let me see what the audience says before we get into that. Like I was trying to do before Gonky rudely asked me how I'm doing.
Sorry.
Ben says, 14 years ago, I moved into a new home. A few months later, I brought home a puppy named Yukimura. We have lived together ever since then until Sunday. Then when she passed away.
Oh, dude.
man.
Sorry,
I was
man.
gonna
Is that
I was
the
gonna make
puppy
a
in the-
joke, but then said it died.
I'm so sorry.
Man, that stinks.
That's the hardest thing.
They don't live long enough.
No, they don't. Sorry. HD Kraut says, Casmo.
Perfect.
That's my $20.
Is that a gang sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you throwing
The
up
mark of
gang
the
signs
beast.
on our show?
Could get worse.
Consortium XF. Wait, isn't there? Doug knows the real name. Remember? He's muted, so we're not going to hear him.
I've lost track by now.
Is it MJ? MJ, right?
Yeah, MJ.
Yeah. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Mover, your new lighting is fabulous. Haven't watched in a while for reasons, but hope all hosts, especially the hardworking Doug and viewers, are doing well. May brighter days lie ahead for everyone. Thank you, MJ.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And sorry about the dog. It's awful. Yeah. Speaking of that, the name, not the dog dying, but I've discovered Japanese Twitter.
What? What? Wait, that's
I
gonna.
don't think you're supposed to say that in public.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's true. It's true. So
You're
apparently,
kids. We're about.
no. It's nothing pornographic. It's nothing
Yeah.
bad. In fact, we could put it as a topic later
Oh, boy.
because apparently they did something where like this auto translate function, and Japan has like the highest number of users for X next to the United States. And so their engagement rates are real high. And now that there's an auto translate, they can see everything Americans post and Americans can see everything they're posting. And all they post about is meets, wanting to know more about America, drifting. They like airsoft. They like, yeah, dude, it's pretty cool, man. This one guy was posting Eagle jets doing takeoffs with audio and stuff and landing, like the in-cockpit footage of their Eagles.
Oh wow.
I'm like, the world
Sounds
is
wholesome.
healing.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some of those translations for some of those training videos we've done.
Yeah. What's their JAL?
That's
that
the
the-
airline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the airline. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can end up
Jowls.
in there. See, LeBray says, can confirm Japanese Twitter and barbecue is the best. Dude, I'm telling you.
Wow.
It's like suddenly my feed was cleansed. Like for the longest time, it was like garbage,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm seeing like the little squiggly letters and stuff. I'm like, what does this mean? And then it's in English after that. And it's about like the Eagle Jet, barbecue.
How did you stumble on this?
I was just opening my feed one day.
Tentacles.
Okay.
No, it's nothing weird. It's just normal stuff. Although they do have a shortage of, population, and they're looking for people.
Looking for tall white males. I understand. I know. I've been approached.
Yes. Are you 6 feet from America?
Yeah, they're looking
I
for
get-
help.
I get the emails.
You get
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm on the list.
I'm 5'10", Casmo. I don't get the emails.
Well, sorry for you.
I know.
See, people know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's cool. Jacksman, oh look at him, dude. C clamp and everything. Old boy knows what he's doing. Gonky, I use a 5-pound sledge in my Tahoe, changing ball joints at 50 years old. I feel your pain, brother. Dude, he just owned you.
Yeah. 50.
Although you're not that far from 50, huh?
I'm 2.5 years behind you, and I used the 10-pound sledge, not the one up you.
I've done lots of ball joints post 50. So
Did you use a 10-pound sledge?
No, I'm more sophisticated than that. I use
You used the air hammer, didn't you?
Yeah.
I told you, there's got to be a way that's easier that Gonky just doesn't know about.
Heat and destructive force.
I used heat, man. I used heat. I put the
Like
torch on
heat
it.
from your body?
No, man. I put the torch on it.
Was it calories burned?
I lit
Mr.
it up.
Miyagi,
You gotta rub the ball joint. That's the secret.
The bead blasting stuff caught on fire, dude. I had it heated up too.
rub the ball joint.
All right, now we're getting really into
So to speak.
Yeah. Mach says, hi and greetings from Las Vegas. Black 27, the field. What do you four want me to bet? Seriously, how will we deal with these electric air taxis when we can't deal with manned copters and airlines? We're going to talk about that, sir.
That's what I've been saying.
But also, thank you. But also, I don't know what any of those words mean about Black 27 in the field.
He's talking roulette.
Yeah, gambling.
I don't. We're a wholesome show, sir.
I don't play roulette. I play craps.
Yeah, I got an important roulette tip for him.
Go ahead.
Doesn't matter at all.
It's don't play roulette.
It doesn't matter what you bet on, you lose.
The lowest probability of winning in roulette.
Good
The
luck,
only
though.
Roulette I know is the Russian kind.
Oh, played it many times.
They're not that
Never
dissimilar.
lost.
Thank you, Douglas. All right. Let's talk about stuff. We still don't have Wombat, by the way. He's back from truck driving school, so we look forward to his return. Just so you know.
What's he doing?
I don't know. Why did y'all all mute yourselves at the same time? What happened?
No, can you hear me?
I hear you.
I had a message saying Doug was audio muted.
Yeah, Doug does that sometimes. He disappeared.
I turn off my camera so that I can do things.
Well, he's got his chair, his vibrating chair.
That too.
That's an inside joke, Casmo.
Well, somebody asked when the music was playing, what do you think these guys are talking about? It's vibrating chairs. That's what we're talking about.
And squiggly porn.
Squiggly porn.
Yeah. And how much money we make. Oh, wait.
Hey, Wombat's in the chat.
Here's Wombat. Wombat, how's truck driving school?
We'll get the skinny.
What is?
Yeah.
He's going to be so mad at me. The beef will continue. All right. Let's talk about this. News this week. It's not new news because we are not the news. I don't know how many times we have to tell people this. We're just a talk show. Yeah, we're like The View. And Gonky is Whoopi.
No. I'm way better looking, dude.
So, for those of you that are going to be mad, this happened last week.
Oh.
Almost a week ago. 28 March, right?
I don't know. So anyway, Air and Space Forces reports that key E3 and AWACS damaged in Iranian attack on Saudi airbase. A pivotal Air Force E3 Sentry was damaged March 27th. Iranian missile and drone attack on Prince Sultan Air Base, commonly known as PSAB, Saudi Arabia. People familiar with the matter told Air and Space Forces the attack injured more than 10. Too seriously, the other planes damaged are tankers. Like, we can't stop damaging tankers in this conflict. U.S. CENTCOM has declined to comment on the incident, but there are pictures, which I will show in a minute. The aging fleet is already bad. We were down to 16 as the service retires less capable planes. In fiscal FY 2024, E3's emission capable rate about 56%. Meaning a little more than half were able to fly and carry out their mission, losing one of its increasingly rare AWACS, especially one that apparently being actively used in current operations could hamper the Air Force's ability to manage battlefields. The loss of this E3 is incredibly problematic given how crucial these battle managers are to everything from the airspace deconfliction, aircraft deconfliction, targeting, and providing other lethal effects that the entire force needs for the battle space, said Heather Penny. That's Lucky Penny, the former F-16 pilot, director of studies and research at AFA's Mitchell Institute for Aerospace Studies. Experts said losing this E3 could create gaps in the battle space awareness, and management could lead to missed opportunities to target Iranian forces. Significant loss, says Kelly Greico, an expert at the Simpson Center. This has consequences. The value of the E3 and battle manager is they see the big picture. They're chess masters. We are the bishops. And then there's some discussion about the E7 wedge tail that is desperately needed to replace the E3, and the loss will impose upon not just career capabilities, but 300 service members have been wounded in Operation Epic Fury. According to U.S. officials, 13 have been killed, including a soldier at Prince Sultan Air Base during a previous attack earlier in March. And then obviously there's the other stuff we've talked about. So if you go to X, these were probably not legally shared.
It looks damaged.
That is the flying saucer right there, I believe.
Jesus Christ.
It's on the ground next to it.
That doesn't belong there. It's supposed to be.
It is
top.
Not okay. If anybody's wondering whether it's okay, the answer is no.
Wow.
And the people in the spacesuits look upon the damage and inspect.
Spaceman.
Yeah. So anyway, gentlemen, I yield the floor. Please tell me your thoughts and analysis.
Go, Casmo, as our guest.
No,
what
I
do you
can't.
think?
I can't. What can I say about this plan? It's going so well. If only somebody had known that they could reach out and do these things. You know, I remember not so long ago in the year 2020 when COVID was raging and suddenly Iran launched missiles at Al Assad Air Base and other places. And I remember sitting in the woods at Joint Readiness Training Center and watching paratroopers stuck in the mud where they'd been for 3 days after jumping into a muddy field and everything was stuck. And I said, well, Iran just hit this base hundreds of miles away. I was like, this is stupid. Putting stuff close enough to be hit with missiles and artillery in this day and age is absolutely stupid because you're gonna get your ass handed to you. And here we are. We've got all this stuff parked out in the open where it's been for years and years and years, where everyone in the world knows where it is, in range of things that can reach out. We're shooting $4 million missiles at $20,000 drones, and we're surprised that this has happened. I'm surprised it hasn't happened more. I yield the floor.
Gonky, your thoughts?
Great point.
Because you lived there. You lived in Saudi Arabia. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I did. I mean, Casmo definitely has a point. It's not that far of a reach, relatively speaking. I mean, here in America, we're far away from everything, but there, I grew up Desert Storm, and they, launching Scuds from Iraq to Saudi Arabia. It's not, those aren't super long range weapons. So you just got to go across the Gulf. It's not that far. You just take off in the Hornet and you wouldn't get very high. You could see both coasts very easily. So you got a point, Casmo. I mean, I think, what you said makes me think that obviously we've just become comfortable, right?
Right.
So, which is bad. The E3 is a really awesome machine. I've had AWACS control a couple times, and it is awesome at what it does. Sadly, we only have like 16 or 17 of them in service, and to lose one is a major blow.
8.
Yeah, I think it's a
Right, it's what it said, right? At like 52%, something, which is,
yeah. I mean, they're like 300 to, I don't know. I've seen a couple figures, 300 to $500 million a piece. So it's crazy that, like you said, a little $20,000 drone, or maybe a swarm of them, let's call it maybe $200,000 worth of little Radio Shack drones can come in there. And the E3 wasn't the only airplane it destroyed.
Right. So did you guys, I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't brought up, because I don't know if you guys saw it. I just saw it the other day. A video, looks a lot like Ukraine, but it's not, of a drone going into a US base and hitting a radar. And then another one cruising along and hitting a Black Hawk or a Pavehawk.
Medevac.
And exactly. And the first thing I said to my friends is, wait until we see one chasing a US paratrooper around a Humvee. Right. Because we all seen that video of the Russian with that look on his face, like, holy smokes, I'm about to get, dunked on.
Yeah.
Like, I saw somebody say this the other day, and I'm going to repeat it. We don't know what kind of war we're fighting. That's the problem.
Yeah. This is definitely the first time in probably our lifetime where the people that we are attacking have been able to reach back out to our base. I mean, we had bases in Iraq and Afghanistan that would get attacked and mortar and stuff, but
yeah, it's very different.
This is very different. Like like you're saying, Casmo. I don't know. I mean,
more importantly, it was anticipatable, if that's a word. Like right. I'm just stunned when I hear like, oh, we didn't know that this could happen. Yes, you did. You just weren't listening, or you weren't paying attention. But yes, you did. Like, anyone who's been paying attention for the past 10 years has known that this could happen. We've been practicing. Like, when I worked at JRTC years ago, they were already starting to work like, well, how do we deal with drones and stuff? So like, this is not new. We're just not ready for it. And that's fine. Then don't start some stuff with somebody who already knows how to do that stuff.
Well, even in more recent history, Casmo, I mean, we've had the Ukraine-Russia conflict to look and learn. And we've had the whole Houthi Navy drone fight going on. And we have seen our deficiencies there. We've shot down our own airplanes trying to defend against Houthi drones, right? So it's pretty crazy that they would put an E3 within range.
I was stunned that stuff like that stayed that close.
Right.
And then that goes back to what you just said, is like, we're just complacent. Like, I don't think you use that word, but that's what you meant. Like, we're just complacent to the idea that, well, it's in Saudi Arabia.
Right. Safe.
Like, nothing goes to Saudi Arabia, because we're used to the Iraq template of it has roughly the range of 6 kilometers, right? It's a mortar, right? Or you're shooting a rocket or something, but it's within this little sphere, and everything outside of that sphere is safe. And we're not in Kansas anymore. And that's the problem. So I was very stunned to see that type of asset was parked there, because I figured you'd park that stuff like really far away.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you wouldn't park B2s out there, right? So, right. I mean, I would say probably the E3 is
I don't know,
just as important, but I don't know, man. It is. I scratch my head, as you are, Casmo, and why that airplane was there. I can't Mover. How many tankers were hit? Was it
3? I think
3 more.
In this one, yeah, I
3
think
more
it's
tankers.
A couple more.
I think it was 3, coupled with the 2 that ran into each other or whatever,
and then the 5.
And then the 5 previously.
Yeah. So I mean, so there's, and I haven't seen. All I've seen are pictures of the E3. I haven't seen any pictures of the tankers that were damaged. But dude, if the tankers were as damaged as this E3, probably don't have those tankers anymore.
Well, I mean, exactly. And that's like, for an aircraft, how much damage means it's not flying. It doesn't take much, right? Like, I mean, you other than buffing the paint a little bit, like it's probably not flying for a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is not good.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what will come of this. I mean, they're probably not going to have the E3s in theater anymore. I mean, at least not based. I don't know. That's my guess. But Mover, what's your take, man, on this whole thing?
Well, it's horrible.
Yeah.
I want to make the joke that maybe there was one of the 50% that wasn't flyable, and they're just like, write it off.
That's
it's
the banger queen.
It's the insurance. Yeah.
It's the parts bird.
Yeah. It wasn't. It's the conspiracy theory is this is just our insurance write-off. You know, they're like, hey, dude, you got a drone. We're gonna write this one off because no, but in all reality, it's very serious. Luckily, no one on the ground was, in the aircraft. I mean, can you imagine an entire E3 crew with all the air battle managers and all that in there at the time, and ground maintenance and all that stuff? I mean, it still sucks that personnel were injured. What concerns me, and we don't know the type of weapons, right? Because it says drones and missiles and all that stuff, but let's assume it was drones, or these, I mean, drones don't have the huge, long range, right? I mean, unless they're autonomous. So were they fiber optic drones, in which case, are like it's Operation Spiderweb? Because you remember we talked about this in June of 2025, I think, was Operation Spiderweb in Russia.
The Ukraine thing with the boat.
Not the boat. They took 18-wheelers. They took trucks. And then they opened up, and we sat here and watched video, and we watched as it went after high-value Russian assets. It went after the bombers. It went after their aircraft, their transports, and stuff like that. And we said, Gonky, I remember we sat here and said, we need a plan for this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the scary part is we don't have a plan for this. So if like Casmo said, if you don't have a plan for it, you don't put your most important pieces where that you need a plan for this. And I hate that. And I almost wonder if this is a result of the tanker stuff. If this is the cascading effects from when we lost the 2 tankers through a midair collision, if that changed our tanker plan, and they go, okay, well, we got to move assets forward. I mean, the reality is someone, another country with more advanced satellite technology is feeding the Iranians intel. And it's almost real time. So, we're leaving these things out in the open and forgetting the lessons we learned in Iraq, where we got mortared every day when I was at Balad, and we put everything in hardened shelters as a result. In fact, I thought an F-16 got hit by one, but I must be misremembering. But I know something got hit, and it was a big deal because it nearly burned down, a couple aircraft. But the idea that we're gonna just say, okay, it's a threat, but we're not gonna do anything about it. Last week we talked on this show about Barksdale and U.S. air bases getting drone activity as well. This is a clear threat. And Gonky, last year we talked to a guy. Remember we talked on the phone to that guy, and it was, hey, this is a very important thing that we need to emphasize because we don't have a plan, and it's going to be a big deal. And here it is, a big deal now.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, I don't know that it's any other problem than we just have not taken this threat seriously enough. And I don't know how you don't.
Because it goes back to complacency. We've been doing a certain thing a certain way, and the U.S. in particular we're very comfortable with, we're very far away from stuff, and we're not thinking about that homegrown stuff. When I worked at the FAA as an interagency guy, I was put on this task to help assess. This was 2015, 15, assess airports and how to protect them from man pads. And I said, you can't. That's impossible. And they're like, well, no, you could do it. I was like, I could park a man pad in my neighborhood. I lived under the traffic pattern of Dulles Airport. I was like, somebody could park right in my driveway and I wouldn't know about it and shoot a man pad. There's no way to protect that. But at the same time, I said, what we need to worry about is drones. This again, 2014, 15. Remember when that guy flew the little gyrocopter and landed on the congressional lawn? Do you guys remember
Oh
that?
yeah.
I worked at the FAA headquarters when it happened. I came in the next day. That happened like right after I left work. So I come in the next day. I was like, did we know about this? Did we see this? And they're like, yeah, he was actually seen on radar, but we thought he was a flock of birds. And I was like, if I was ISIS, because ISIS was big at the time, like I would park like a bunch of little drones like right on the approach end of a runway and just catch an airliner coming in, So like we have known about this institutionally for a really long time, but yeah, we just haven't taken it seriously. And what was that in Jordan a couple of years ago? There was a guard tower that was, I think 2 or 3 soldiers were killed because an explosive drone went in there. And I could 100% see what happened. I guarantee they saw that drone. They had no idea. Is it friendly? Is it bad? Like, there's no drone recognition, right? A T-72 when you see one, right? An F-16 when you see one. What the hell? I don't know. What kind of drone is that? Is that friendly? Do I shoot that? Is that bad? I'm not going to shoot it because I might get in trouble. And then it rolls up on you and explodes. So we just have a huge problem with this drone thing. And somebody in the comments said something before, like, this is the new nuclear weapon. And I kind of agree with that. Like, this is the new problem set that we need to worry about. I'm not worried about a nuke going off. I'm worried about what you just said. Somebody parking outside of Barksdale and throwing drones up, or somebody, flooding the approach end of a runway with tiny drones that I don't see until they go sucked up into my engine.
But we know that. We do know that because we've seen time and again where these things happen. I mean, we've watched for the last 4 years, we've watched Ukraine, and we've in fact, I think last week Iran tried to hit one of their anti-drone teams. Like the Ukraine sent out an anti-drone team to kind of help with this, and that was one of the places they tried to target in their strikes. And we've seen it there. The Israelis have seen it firsthand because in their Hamas war, drones were going after tanks and troops in the open and stuff like that. This is not a new thing. It is just like it. When the threat level is a certain way, you don't put your stuff in that threat unless you want to accept the risk. And I don't think that, this is a place you want to accept that risk. I think
it's not. And it's going to hurt people's feelings, but we need to understand, like, that's where the shift needs to be. We need less infantry guys. Sorry. We need less tank guys. We need less helicopter guys. We need more anti-drone guys. We need more cyber guys. This is the new normal, and everyone needs to wake up to that because we have been braced for World War II Part 2, right? This big tank on tank conventional fight for so long. Like, think of how many tanks we have, how many helicopters, how many jets we have in the Army right now. It's spellbinding if you compare it to any other Army. Guess what? They know that too, so they're not going to play that game. Like, if they already know you have all the Monopoly money, they're not going to play Monopoly with you. They're going to play something else. And that's what we're seeing time and time and time again. And we need to just wake up to that fact and adjust.
Well, even the World War III aspect of it, Casmo, the Chinese aren't just doing J-36, J-50, J-35, all that stuff. I got a video coming out tomorrow that on my channel, 48 drones. It's a launcher. It's like the HIMARS. I mean, it looks up. It launches 48 drones. They're autonomous. And the dude's sitting there on his ThinkPad, his laptop, and he's like, okay, here's your target sets. Or he can click them and send them wherever he wants. So if they lose link, they go do whatever they want. And the video shows them going after, missile batteries and command and control things and whatever. And they can just do that. And they can recognize targets because they're autonomous. So they're like, oh, that looks like
AI.
So it's not like World War III won't have the same problem. It'll be just worse because now you've got that plus the Chinese Air Force or the PLAF.
Look, hot take. I'd say it's already World War III. I don't think, and other people have said this too, like World War III is not going to look like World War II. World War III is going to look like, infrastructure attacks. It's going to look like this asymmetric hybrid type warfare. We're not going to see. It's stupid. We're not going to see tanks like these mass, Battle of 73 Eastings type stuff going on. And if you do, it's going to be the anomaly. It's going to be the outlier. What you're going to see is all this crazy stuff because these guys have paid attention. I always said Desert Storm was like the worst thing we could have done because we showed everybody how good we were at targeting things and like this really specific, like we can do this, this, and this. And the world was like, oh, cool. Let's not fight like that anymore because these dudes are going to eat our lunch. And that's where we've seen this change, and people are going to fight asymmetrically. And Major Pete does not know what kind of war he's in right now, and he keeps beating his chest talking about how great things are. They're not great. You're just pissing people off, but you're not winning any war.
Well, you talked about the ManPads threat. It's funny. I wrote that in Brick by Brick, which was 2015. I wrote that book. A couple of weeks ago, Doug and I were talking of stuff, the doom scroll on social media. A guy 3D printed a ManPad or ManPads.
Jesus Christ.
Which, I mean, you could 3D print anything at this point, and it wasn't like Stinger size or whatever. Sure. It was truncated, and it had a little rocket, and ATF wasn't too happy. But I mean, these are the kind of things that become threats.
Right.
So we always have to be evolving, and it sucks. It's not good.
Not good.
Let's see what the kids at home have to say about this. Let's see here. Nope. I'm trying to see if there's anything related before I go through them all. Sharkbait says, regarding the E3, did they learn nothing from the first attack? The mind boggles.
It does bother.
What was the first attack? See, I think though the first attack was missiles.
It doesn't matter though, right? Like, I mean,
well, it does because you can shoot down the missiles with a Patriot. It's harder to shout down.
Not always though.
Yeah,
but I mean,
we're running out.
They failed,
and we're running out of missiles too.
Yeah.
How do we know? Because somebody said we're not. So you know that we are. But so my question, was that the same base?
PSAP? Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I didn't know like the first attack, but yeah, like it does boggle the mind. Why again?
I want to say it was Kuwait.
Why keep stuff so far?
Kuwait, man.
No, I think it was Kuwait.
Yeah, but I mean, what's the difference? What's the distance difference?
It's you're right. I mean, it's the same. Yeah, medium range shot.
Yeah, we're still thinking of mortars and rockets. We're not thinking of missiles and long range UAVs.
Yeah. Stupid Magnet says, and thank you, by the way, everyone with brains knew drones were going to be an issue 8 years ago.
At least.
Ken's Eagle says, why are we not denying Iran the use of GPS? I heard that is possible and means no drone guidance.
Because it probably denies our GPS.
Well, because you don't need it if you're using fiber optic drones outside the wire.
Yeah.
Well, not true.
Yeah.
I mean, if
though I don't know that that's what they're using from that distance. I don't know enough about it, but I don't.
Well, you don't know what the distance was. They could have a team outside.
Well, that's fair. You're right.
Well,
that's also true.
That could be Operation Spiderweb all over again. I mean,
the other thing is you could put a little INS in it. And I mean, you're just talking about targets, 200 miles away. Like,
and I don't know, but somebody in the chat, they may be full of crap, but they said the Shaheed actually has its own INS, so it doesn't need all that stuff, and that could be true. Why wouldn't it be? Yeah. Why wouldn't it be true?
You can have an INS.
An INS.
You can have an INS
made 40 years ago.
That's updated by GPS. GPS falls out, it just defaults to INS. Yeah.
Mad Max says he heard it was a 1-ton cluster rocket.
Wow. That sounds scary.
I don't like that.
I don't know what that is.
I don't even know what that is.
Never heard of it. What is a 1-ton?
It's a very heavy cluster
rocket.
Yeah.
I mean, well, is it a metric ton?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because those are different. I've learned.
We don't have a word for a different half a ton.
Well, when I Google it, it comes up as a HIMARS. So like maybe the Iranian version of a HIMARS. I don't know.
Sounds scary though.
That's the Russian version.
I don't speak Spanish.
I don't speak Spanish.
That's right. I'm not allowed to say that on it. Look, it's an Anchorman quote. Okay, it's straight from
Anchorman.
No, they get mad, and by they I mean
they can get over it. The people. Just send your hate mail to me at Spider Cash on Twitter.
Yeah, Mach says, Devil's Advocate, what if we've gotten 98% of their attacks, but that 2% causes this type of damage? Are we expecting 0 losses?
Right.
I mean, that is fair in the sense that if you were in a full up shooting war, the problem is what are we, what are we accepting? Like, is the 2% when we could have moved the asset out of the way? Like, why would you accept that risk?
Exactly. So, like, let me address that. War is not decided by percentages, right? It's center of gravities. It's high value systems, right? So if your 2% happens to be this very high value item that is difficult to replace and you don't have a lot of, that's a very different 2% than the 2% of you just blew up 5 helicopters and I have 1,000 of them. So that's the problem. Is we've invested so heavily into things that are very expensive, i.e. very hard to replace. We've not invested in building their replacements. Like, I don't keep up with all this stuff, but I know that tankers, like, that was, what is it, the KC-46 or something, like the new one, has been in like development hell for like 1,000 years at this point. So when we start removing those things off the field, like, again, kill our tank. Like, I hate to say it, like, I don't mean the crews. Okay, I'm just talking equipment. Kill our tanks, kill our helicopters. We got so much. You have no idea how much of that crap we have. We don't have a lot of tankers. We don't have a lot of AWACS. We don't have a lot of these high value systems. The radar that they killed in that video I mentioned before, those are very relatively rare, and you're not just going to throw one together. So that's where they're really winning, is they're hitting these high value items. They're not going after just the piddly stuff that we have just tons of.
Yeah. And all it takes is for them to get lucky once. Like, for them, it's a major victory, right?
Right.
And then, of course, we're talking about this because the news has covered it, but don't give the Iranians free BDA. Like, don't go to the Senior Airman NCO page and give them free, BDA. Holy crap, man!
Yeah, you were 200 feet to the north.
Yeah.
You can
that
see
was fire.
the Iranian guy's like, he's tweaking the little INS.
He's liking. He hits like.
It's like,
share.
dude.
Subscribe. Share, subscribe. Pickle.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. Enough of that topic. We got some other super chats here. Pneumatic Elephant says, "Buy Project Virtus. Thank you. Daedalus Dawn actually includes World War III and a lot of these topics. So keep going." That's the sequel, by the way. Joe says, "Dirt bike mechs are low-tech guys equals sledgehammer." Tom says, "Doug turned off cam so he could check Japanese X."
He's on the dark side.
Tentacles.
Typed in tentacles.
He's off there. He's off on the clock there. RR Pilot says, "Have any of you read Air America by Chris Robbins? After I saw the movie, I thought it was all BS, but the true story in the book is bonkers. Those pilots were certifiable, brave, or insane, maybe both." I have not.
Well, a little bit of all.
Sounds awesome, though. Spider says, "Hi, Aldo. Monday and April month starts." Not yet. We're still hanging on to March.
Mm-hmm.
But April, is there an April Fool's? I guess we won't do one this year. Joe says, entire aft fuselage is gone. Damaged?
It is damaged.
Well, it's not a lie if you believe it.
It's technically correct. It is damaged.
In the words of
Yes,
Mr. Costanza.
Was that wrong?
Biometal Chemist says, "Gonky as Whoopi was not on my 2026 bingo card, but I could say the same for a lot of other things that have happened already this year."
Valid.
That's a fact.
That's the fact, Jack. Did you see? Hold on. Did y'all see that the Air Canada CEO had to resign in disgrace after the controversial scandal?
He didn't say something in French?
Correct. He gave his condolences for the Air Canada Express crash in English only.
English.
He was then summoned to Parliament.
Yeah.
And then he was forced to retire, or he announced his retirement.
Can I say something about...
Yes. Please.
Do you guys fly into Canada at all with you? Well, I mean, with...
No.
I used to.
Former job? Okay.
I used to go to Montreal all the time.
Okay. So we go into a lot of Canadian airports. Can I just say, it is very distracting. It's so distracting when they start speaking French. I'm sorry. And I think the problem is, like, I'm on approach, I'm on final, and someone starts blah, 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 and in French. and my brain is trying to decipher it, because you're trying to keep your situational awareness and stuff, but every now and then like an English word or something that sounds English slips in there, so you're like, and my brain just tries so hard, and I'm it's so distracting. I have the hardest time landing anywhere in Canada because it's English, perfect English, and then French, and then perfect English, and I'm like, it just drives me nuts.
That's everywhere though. Like Mexico is the same way, South America is the same way,
but yes, you're right, but there isn't like English mixed in when they're speaking Spanish. I don't know what it is. There's just like those certain words that they boom out, and it just throws me. I'm very distracted.
Casmo, their French in Canada is a big. Our my buddy, the Canadian exchange pilot. I remember he was super nervous one week, and I'm like, "What's going on, man?" And he said, "I have my French test this week," and I'm like, I looked at him like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, dude." He's like, "I have to once a year. He has to get on the phone with a Canadian government official."
No way.
Yeah, dude, 100%. And they have to have a conversation in French. And if he doesn't pass, he's like, "Dude," he's like, "That's a career ender." As we saw with, I didn't hear about that mover with the Canadian Air Canada CEO, but yeah. So it's a little. I love Canadians, but dude. That piece, yeah, whatever. That piece of your government is no bueno, because he was practicing. Because obviously,
talk about practice.
Being in America, he didn't speak. He didn't speak French for a while, and he's like, "Man, I gotta do this every year." He's like, and he started like, "Hey, tell me something in French." He does like, "Dude, you sound legit." He's like, "No, I gotta work on the I don't know, weird." But they're into their French, Casmo.
Oh, I know. Like, and I love Canada. Every time I go there, it's awesome. Everyone's super nice. But there's just something about that Franglish that just like, it just throws me off on approach, and it's just very distracting. Like, good for them. I wish I could speak French at all, but
you're not a francophone.
I'm not a francophile.
Francophone.
Whatever.
John says Gonky, whoopee, groupie. Not sure how I feel about that. Nor I.
I don't like it.
I saw a tweet about somebody was talking about call signs, and they were saying that, if you have a cool call sign, you can't be trusted, because most people with terrible call signs that are not PG are awesome. And that's just a Navy thing. I think people need to understand that, because the Air Force has a very specific rule that it has to be able to be yelled across the O Club bar, and the Navy has no such rule.
Which is why our call signs are just,
never can be told on the show.
I would argue that the Navy just doesn't care. I mean, I've heard, I don't know about the Navy, but I've heard Marines yell that kind of thing.
It's more authentic, like.
Yeah, but you guys, you're on a ship, so you're not trying to impress chicks, because.
Well, dude, listen, there are females on ships.
Sailors, 2,500 couples
for now.
There are females on ships, sir.
But you don't have to impress them, because what's the competition? Oh, right. Yeah, there's 3 of them to 5,000 dudes. Yeah.
You do have to impress them. In fact, the odds are much higher.
Yeah. Their odds are very high.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a child-friendly broadcast.
Anyway, One Kim One says Trump only has about 45 more days before needing Congress promise to continue.
Sure.
I don't know.
I just work here.
Way above my pay grade.
Richard,
I was in the 4 times.
If you find this, Doug, please share with us. If not, just thank you, Richard. Robin says Gonky looks like he is deep in thought for his next war college discussion topic.
I think Casmo said center of mass, and I peeked up.
Dude, he said center of gravity.
Yeah, center of gravity.
Because
straight out of ACSC.
I went to a school the current SecDef didn't go to, by the way. But what do I?
Sec war. If you don't
get it right, Casmo.
Listen, if you ever go to the comment section of my videos, Casmo.
I try to avoid all comment sections, but occasionally
as you should. I don't. And so anytime I've ever done the videos about the India-Pakistan war, the Indians love to make fun of that dude. Remember the video we watched, Gonky, where the guy was talking about the battle plan? He was very polished. He knew everything, and it was very, very well spoken.
Yeah, it was.
And he said center of gravity. And the Indians don't know what that means. So they are in the comments like, this idiot, it's like center of gravity clown emoji, center of gravity clown.
Physically the center of gravity.
Yeah. They're like, this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking. He's just making up words. And it's like, no, this is literally the nerd speak in all the war colleges.
He went to ACSC.
He went to, they stuck him in some kind of war college because I'm like, I recognize this term.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I hate it. But I recognize
real
it.
Thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I had to write a paper on it. I hate it, but it's real. Mm-hmm.
Churchill's Finest says, "Hey, Mover, Gonky, and Casmo, greetings from Australia. Thanks for all the news, lads. Much appreciated. Thank you. This ain't the news or nothing."
Yeah,
true.
Seeking Missile says, "No Patriot can shoot down my missile."
Yeah, because it's too small to detect.
Ooh, micro. Ooh. Mad Max says there's one video over Tel Aviv from a couple weeks ago. See, now they're arguing with each other.
No,
just let them cook.
No, he's talking about the cluster rocket.
Oh,
because he's the one that mentioned
okay,
that thing, the 1-ton cluster rocket.
Okay, Mad Max. Oh, sorry, hit the button again. Steam in Demon. U.S. military discounts drones because our generals' kids have $50 Radio Shack drones. Generals think about tanks and helos. That's a man's tool, not toys. That sounds like something Gonky would say.
Dude.
Perfect.
All right.
So much I want to say.
Say it. Get it out with your feelings. Say it with your chest.
I just think back to like all the like little. I don't know if you guys do this. Probably not, because it doesn't really make sense. We do these things in the Army called staff rides, where you go to like a battlefield. You guys do those types of things?
Staff rides, like you take a staff with you.
Yeah, well, it's called staff ride, but you'll take like all the officers and you'll go to like some battlefield and they'll talk
like a
about
real one
stuff. Yeah, like a real one. Like if you're like, well, when I was in South Korea, we'd go to like actual places where battles are, or if you're in the States, you would go to some Civil War battle or something to talk about. And I'm just like, you know what? It's always led by infantry guys who think that this is a good idea. Like, you want to talk about this battle because this, I hate to say it, is easy. It's two-dimensional. It's dudes lined up over here and dudes lined up over here, and there's some artillery. You're not having to think about three-dimensional. You're not having to think about NBC. You're not having to think about drones and all these other things. Like, this is the stuff that those guys just want. I just want a stand-up fight. I just want to have my big guys against your big guys all lined up and doing this big fight. And I think that's why we can't move beyond where we are, because there's too many guys who just deep down inside don't want to move. They don't want to turn the page to like where we are now. And kind of go back to
put it in the recruiting ads. You see the drones in the recruiting ads now.
Oh, I know. Well, yeah, exactly. Well, like, we're getting there. Don't get me wrong. I think that we are making that push, but for every 2 steps forward, or 1 step forward is 2 steps back. Like, we've made this big push for cyber, but now I see that there's a new PT test coming out and everyone needs to pass this certain PT test, which anyone who's pays attention, women are not going to do well in it. So now we're just going to go ahead and just cut some of them, which, oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, there's a big push coming to remove women from any combat roles. Cause that's not very Christian of us. But if I'm a cyber warrior, I don't really give a shit like how many push-ups you can do. If you're really good at cyber, be really good at cyber. Here's Twinkies. Do your thing, bro. Like, do the cyber war stuff. I don't care.
Make a cyber force. We made a space force. Make a cyber force.
Right. Let's do a cyber. I don't care about your explosive power throwing a shot put or whatever nonsense we're coming up with PT tests.
Ammo can lift is not important.
Your runtime.
Dude, have you ever picked up a PC? They're heavy.
They're super heavy.
You got to run and carry them off from your workstation.
You got to have like a special rucksack for it. But yeah, so that's been my feeling for a long time, is like, we're just very, like, I think we yearn for that like old school fight, like, because that's, I hate to say easy because a lot of people are going to die, but it is easy versus we got to think big brain. We got to think just like you guys talk about. Hey, there's a dude with a pickup truck that's suddenly launching fiber optic drones from the back across the street from Barksdale Air Force Base, and there goes millions of dollars of bombers that we're not going to replace. Yeah, that's scary.
And that's scary. They've lasted 60 years only to die in their parking spots.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That'd be.
All right. Back to the comments. Boris says, did you guys see the Apache flyover for Kid Rock's house? Thank you for that segue.
Yeah, we need to get off the first topic.
Yeah, we got to move on or else Gonky can't pay his light bill.
Plus, we have deep intel, allegedly.
We do. We have direct deep intel from
Slightly deep.
from the deepest of deep army men. All right. So ABC 15 Arizona says on Saturday, Kid Rock posted a video on X of him standing on a covered deck of his home, saluting one Apache as it hovered just beyond his expansive swimming pool. Army officials have ordered an investigation into the activities of two AH-64 Apache attack helicopters that flew over Saturday's No Kings protest in downtown Nashville, then engaged in low-altitude maneuvers near Kid Rock's home just north of the city. Initial investigation appears to be focused for now for the maneuvers at the entire so-called Southern White House in the Nashville suburb of Whites Creek. Fort Campbell leadership is aware of the video circulating on social media depicting the Apaches operating in the vicinity of a private residence with Mr. Robert Ritchie, also known as Kid Rock, said Major Jonathan Bless, public affairs officer for the 101st. The command has initiated an investigation to review the circumstances surrounding the activity. They said the 101 and Fort Campbell maintain strict standards of aviation safety professionalism and adherence to established flight regulations. We take all concerns regarding aircraft operations or impact on the surrounding communities very seriously. However, our pilots do regularly fly routes outside of the Fort Campbell area. We just don't know if it was incidental or it was deliberate. Well, let's watch the video and see how deliberate it might be.
That's pretty close.
It doesn't look all that deliberate to me. This looks like just something happenstance.
No, they just happened to end up right there by that pool. Nice Statue of Liberty.
Pool. That is not that big of a pool, by the way. I don't know.
It's just the summer home.
Yeah. That's an infinity pool. It's very nice. Got a nice view of the city back there.
Accidental.
I mean, I don't even know why you'd be mad at him because this looks like it was totally, they were just flying around and just.
He's definitely not mad. I mean, Kid Rock, I told you about his airplane. He's not mad.
What happened to his hand? I mean, you only get mad when they pedal, turn, and point at you with the gun. That's.
Well, the gun, it'll just turn.
Well, the rockets then.
So there's more to this story in the sense that the investigation, because apparently this aircraft reportedly was nearby the protests that were going on over the weekend. And so which I don't, from what I understand from people that I know, it was actually not that close to it, but unfortunately people are making it out to be something that it's not. Like it was some sort of like, ooh, don't protest or we're going to shoot you type thing. I don't believe that at all. I think they saw a cool looking house or whatever, or maybe they knew it was his house and they just going over there. So word on the street is, I don't know if I should say this.
It's too late now.
That is someone in leadership of that unit, and that unit is about to shut down. And so potentially that person's like, fuck it.
Oh, they did. Wait, hold on. But wait, there's more.
Oh.
They did point at him.
Oh, that's terrible. They'll get you.
That's a cool shot, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is a cool shot.
Yeah.
Oh, look, his pool goes all the way. He's got another pool next to his pool mover. See that?
Oh,
that's.
Oh, look.
Oh, look.
Oh. Oh.
He didn't even have hellfires.
Yeah. That's for cooling off after you get out of the pool.
He's just trying to help his infinity pool do more. That guy, that's a overshooting rejoin there.
Yeah.
He's like, where are you guys? Oh no.
That's how you cover your buddy when he's doing something he shouldn't be doing. Like that was me when my buddy's checklist dropped out of his aircraft in Missoula and he landed to pick it up. That was me. I got you covered.
27,000 foot mansion. Square foot mansion.
That's all.
That's pretty big.
Kid Rock said, this is a level of respect. Uh-oh. Nope. Can't say a little.
Oh, God. Yeah, don't read that. I read that. That's stupid.
Can we watch this again? Look at this. For the podcast listeners, we're watching an Apache point at Kid Rock, and then another Apache go screaming by and do a quick stop.
That's cool. Look at that. That's
anyway.
awesome.
Yeah, someone actually just texted me responding to my deep intel and agreed that it apparently is the squadron commander.
So they're shutting down
for that unit. Yeah.
Well, Gonky, we're experts on this.
What, on shutting down places?
Yeah, units that are shutting down and then getting in trouble.
Reach out to us. We got you covered on what's about to happen.
Let me know if you need help. You need a good lawyer.
Somebody just sent me a picture of an E3 with a bunch of tape on it, like it's together, but like the tape.
Sir, can you focus and give us deeper intel and an analysis?
That's all I got. That's as deep as it goes, boys.
Gonky, please, your thoughts.
No, it's awesome. I mean, I would assume, Casmo, that maybe there's a low level route or something near his place. I mean, I mean, did you guys just kind of randomly fly around? And
I mean, I think
Gonky tries to understand helicopters.
It's not that.
Yeah.
I mean,
we typically stayed in the same kind of areas, but I can see if somebody knew that, like, oh, this is somebody's special house, or they were just like, let's just go, fly around and look at stuff, that they could end up there. I don't think that this isn't just some normal route, or it wouldn't really be news. And you don't just stop by someone's house. They were really close. I mean, you could tell they were very close to that house and they were hovering. That's not normal.
About 500 feet. I got you. Now, could that have been, I mean, could his place be in a MOA?
Sure. I mean, I guess it could be. Yeah, but the
MOA floor is usually not the surface.
Right. Yeah, it's not the backyard.
So,
and honestly, we don't really like, at least anywhere that I've ever flown in the military, like MOA is like, okay, like we didn't.
Yeah, that's a jet thing, Gonky.
Yeah, it's more of a jet thing.
Not well. So there's helicopters around here. Like lots of.
No, I got you. Like, I'm not saying like we ignored it. I'm just saying we didn't really use MOAs. Like, you got to think like our range of going places is much more limited than what you guys were. So like, there was really no reason to go. Like, why would I go fly around out here where technically I shouldn't go below 500 feet because I'm near people's houses, or I could go over here to this training area that's empty and I can go down to the trees.
I only ask because here where I live up north, I'm just going back 10 years, but there's a MOA and they have a lot of helo training. And I think the base is 500 feet because of helicopters. And I went in there in a Hornet because one of the tracks that I rode at a lot was within the confines of the MOA. And I took a couple pictures and sent it to the owner. And that's the only reason why I bring that up.
Allegedly.
I was in the MOA, dude. Everything was legit. Checked in, went in there. I wasn't super low. I just took a couple of pictures over from the air. But that's why I bring it up that I don't know.
Well, here's how I know that this isn't normal, because it's never happened before.
That's valid.
Well, also he's videoing it and
he's acting like it's a big deal, like it never happened.
And there's your next lesson. When someone does something cool and you're the recipient, keep it to yourself.
Just keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't ruin a good time, because somebody's going to cry and complain. And that's it. Now, officially, I will say, very bad flight discipline. And we should all never do this. That's it. That's the
okay.
speech.
Oh, okay. I thought they were going to show us something, but all right.
No, that's it. I'm just saying. I'm saying
ready for the hands.
Officially, you should never do this. Unofficially, don't film it if you're the recipient, because this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, that's right. I agree with that.
I mean, if you're going to listen, somebody flies an Apache to my house and they're not mad at me, I promise not to film it.
And if you do, just keep it for you.
I'll keep it. I'll share it with Gonky. That's it. But yeah, I mean, I get it. The Army's going to investigate because now it looks like some kind of abuse of taxpayer dollars and military equipment. And, is it safe? Like, what happens if an engine quits? Well, I got another one. So what do I do?
Yeah, but you're not above safe single engineer speed. So,
what do you do there? You have the aircraft.
Well, you got to have enough space to basically, nose it over, get some airspeed, because you can't really, unless it's an Echo model, which they probably have Echoes by now, but hovering with single engine is not normally doable depending on how heavy you are. So you got to have some forward airspeed.
Pedal turn away from the house?
Yeah, that's what you'd have to do. Yeah. They might be light enough that they could hover a single engine, but it would be not good. I don't know. Apache guys are weird about the single engine stuff. It was very hard for me coming from the Kiowa, where I only got the one, and I'd be flying around, and the guy's like, "Oh, you're going too slow, or you're doing this like you got to be of safe single engine." I was like, "Bro, I just spent 2,000 hours of my life with that single engine. Period. You're gonna be okay. Just shut up. Hang on." Apache guys are the worst.
Oh, the Apache. All I can think about is Nick Cage and Tommy Lee Jones.
That's all you're meant to think about.
I am the greatest.
I am the greatest. Okay. Back to the comments. Miner Dine says, we are hitting their bulldozers and they are hitting our tankers and C2 assets. This will age badly.
Yep.
Going back to the Iranian stuff.
And I will poke fun at somebody in the comment section who thinks that I have no perspective because they think that, well, Cosmo's upset because we only lost a couple things that cost millions of dollars. Millions, and we're gonna worry about little piddly things like USAID, but you're not concerned about millions of dollars of the things being killed on the ground. Okay, I have plenty of perspective. You should shut the fuck up. Being real.
Don't read the comments.
I can't help it. I love it.
That's all I can say. Churchill's Finest says, please email us Aussies avgas, poor hungry fat Amy's. Dude, Jet A is $10 a gallon right now.
In the States?
Yeah, here.
Oh, dude. Wow.
In Gulfport.
I never use my own money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cosmo's like, fill it up. What's the big deal?
Charge it to the boss.
Yeah. It's like, dude, yeah.
Yeah. It is currently 10 something a gallon, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's $8.13 for 100 low lead, or $10.40 a gallon at the FBO.
I guess I need to start paying attention. I'm supposed to start flying Civil Air Patrol here this week.
Well, it's down to 5 something at the smaller airports, so that's just the full service. But that's still, holy crap. Mad Max says they have same rules for Canadian companies in U.S. BMO banks. Some stuff had to be in both languages. I posted the video of Operation Canadian Bacon, where Dan Aykroyd pulls over John Candy, and there's big graffiti like "Canada sucks, eat my shorts" on the side, and they're trying to hide from the Canadians because they're doing a spec ops thing. And he gives them a ticket. He's like, "That'll be 1,000 Canadian, or $10 US if you'd like." So I'll take the $10. So he gives him the $10, and then he goes, "Okay, well, is that it?" He's like, "Well, not yet." It's like, "What? You have to fix it." So then he hands him a rattle can, and he spray paints the graffiti back to French underneath all the English profanity.
My favorite, I haven't seen a movie in like 20 years, but I remember my favorite scene is like early on, they go to the hockey game and they start playing "Oh Canada," and it just shows John Candy just like rolls his eyes. I don't know why. I laugh so much when I think about that.
The best part,
like, oh my God.
They're both Canadian. Dan Aykroyd and John Candy are both Canadian actors making fun of it.
I love Canada. I know people think I was throwing shade at Canada earlier. I brought home Canadian cookies. Your economy is welcome. I gave you American money. It's still good there.
Subi says, Gonky, I bought one of your fast jet coloring books. My son loves it. Since Mover discovered Japanese X, his future books will be read right to left.
Wow. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that, man.
Ukrainians were mind blown when they saw UAE shooting 8 Patriot missiles towards single Shaheed. Holy crap. I'm mind blown by that. I don't think you can withstand that.
4 million a piece. You know that torpedo that we shot at the unarmed Iranian destroyer had no ammo on board? That was also $4 million. You didn't realize torpedoes are $4 million?
Wow.
Yeah, I had no idea. Insane.
Wow.
You wouldn't think that would be the case, but...
Yeah, holy crap.
Yeah. Thankfully, we don't shoot those too often.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. MJ says, random question for Mover. Are you related to one Catherine Lemoyne of Kenner, Louisiana, flight attendant who survived Southern Airways 242? No. I mean, I might be, but I don't know. I don't know that person, but that's a horrific crash.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, no. Boris says, did you guys see the, oh, nope. We finally caught up to that one. The new Area 51. That's Doug. Find his tweet. He has the thing about the United versus the Blackhawk. He does this great analysis, and we're gonna use that as our discussion. Airwolf could have solved this whole conflict in minutes. That is 100% factual.
If they use turbo boost,
I mean, a couple Hellfires
or whatever those things were, like the little 3-barrel thing that would pop out of the belly.
Those are cannons, yeah. The cannons.
Yeah, cannons. That's right. That's what I'd put.
Gaffweb would like to give you $2, Gonky, to estimate what Iran has left. LOL, for $2. Dude. That's like a $2 million question.
Who knows?
If you can answer that, that's your defense contract right there, buddy. Go ahead, tell me more.
Nobody knows. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. No idea. Casmo, what do you think? No, Casmo has no idea either. Mover, what do you think?
I know they have hundreds of pounds of enriched uranium that we were told was obliterated 6 months ago.
You saying they got the WMDs? They got some
yellow cake?
Don't worry, we're gonna go pick that up. We're just gonna send some guys and grab it real quick. Stick it in your pocket. Your cargo pockets are good for that. They're probably 3D printing parts to make drones. They have hundreds of these little speedboats that can drop a mine or two, which is all you really need. Just the threat of the mine is enough to close off the straits, which Major Pete told us the straits are open if Iran wasn't doing stuff. Other than that, the straits are open. Yeah, they have plenty of stuff. They can make this last a really long time and make it very painful.
Okay.
I mean, watch what happened for the past 20 years in Iraq and Afghanistan to learn that it doesn't take much to make things very painful.
All right. New recruiting ad. Here's your Twinkies. Do your stuff, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
He's too wound up to recognize his own work. We've all seen hackers. No one fights with a desktop. We fight with laptops.
God, hackers.
Uh-oh. I lost me.
Somebody doesn't have 2 gigabyte fiber like me.
See, this is what the hackers got me.
You've been hacked.
Yeah. This is
Angelina Jolie's in your system right now.
This is what the Patriot battery sees when the Iranian drones are coming in. They're like, what's happening?
There it is. We're back. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, see.
I got hacked into something. I don't know. Nope, I'm out again. Gonky, take over. I've got a trouble.
You have the controls.
I don't know what's going on.
Controls are
Let's talk about it. Something else.
Is he gone? Did he leave?
Yeah, I think so.
Doug, are you still here too, or did you also get? Are you hacked?
He's only mostly gone.
He's only mostly gone. Did we read this one? Dude. P-Choke 49 says we've all seen. Oh yeah, no, Hey, do we have any more? More from the crowd?
We should move on to a new subject.
Pull one up, Doug.
Let's talk about something fun.
Lisa for 199 says thank you folks for the show. Well, thank you.
You're welcome for the show.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's our pleasure. And Mover when he's here. So our pilot says the Air Force flies AC-130s over my house in the Catskills.
Catskills.
Okay.
That's in New York, right?
Is it?
That's in New York.
Southeastern New York, yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah, AC. They're all over down here in the Panhandle and Florida area. But
yeah,
they're all over up there too.
They're in Hurlburt.
That's right.
I went to school there for like 2 weeks. Yeah, there was a bunch of weird shit there.
And you never could learn how to say the name of the base.
I can't say it. That's the first place I saw an F-35 take off, though. And I was really impressed. Like they weren't there. It was what's the base that's right down the street from there?
Eglin.
Yeah,
Eglin. Yeah.
And I was driving past Eglin. I was like, that's awesome. This is like the way he's just like, okay, guys, see you later, bye.
Yeah,
gone.
Yeah, super loud,
that's
man.
Yeah, they are. They're super loud. F-22s are weird sounding. The first time I heard them, it sounded like TIE fighters. I don't know what it was. They were just like,
because they're awesome.
Well.
because they're awesome.
I need to send you that. I sent you that picture of like the cuck chair with the F-22 watching the F-35.
Yeah. It's funny.
What the F-22's never shot anything down, right?
Some balloons, right?
Some balloons. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, they've got a lot of patch wearers over there fighting over balloon scraps. So cool. All right, Doug, what else we got, man? Tomcat 22 says, finally got my FOQT scheduled after calling 7 different places. Thanks for all the advice. As always, Mover. We'll be sure to pass that to Mover when he decides to rejoin us. Mover!
I had to do an emergency camera swap.
Oh, now the lighting's different.
What happened to your camera?
So DSLR, right? You use the thing to plug it in and it charges the battery while you do it. Apparently, it's not charging the battery, and the screen says battery exhausted. Much like me.
It's exhausted.
Yeah.
So late.
Hey, this one's for you, Mover. Right
What's
here.
your question?
No, dude, I just read it, but then it says, thanks for all the advice as always, Mover. So,
oh, hey, no problem. Good job. Make them tell you no or whatever.
Whatever. He's in a Skip Barber car.
Yeah, he is in one. That is him.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
Well, why would you put a picture of somebody else in a race car in your avatar? I mean, come on.
There's some avatars with cartoons, and I'm pretty sure they're not cartoon characters actually asking us questions, man. I could be wrong.
Gonky, let's get back to work here. Now that I'm back.
We've been Casmo and I have been working. Sir.
Stop dilly dallying over here, and let's talk about the next
time.
thing.
Just fine.
Yeah, we're trying to.
We got the Hornet thing, Douglas.
You said you wanted the UAL Blackhawk.
No, I just wanted to make sure it's up there. I didn't say it's next.
All right.
There's no banner for the UAL thing.
Yes, there is.
Where?
In the banners.
Where? Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about the Hornet, and then we'll talk about that. All right. Well, I covered this on my channel, so let's get Gonky's opinions. Roll the tape. This is a alleged surface-to-air missile shot in Iran of F-18. What is this? This isn't it. Oh, it is. This is multiple angles of the same one. Okay. If you play audio, Doug, you can hear them strafing. Oh, there's no audio
stuff.
Well,
I'll add the sounds on. Allah Akbar. Did you guys see the A10 video?
Yeah, them strafing.
Yeah.
All right. I got the video, Doug, since I don't know what you have. That's not
what was in the file.
All right, unshare your screen.
That first video, I don't know, Casmo, you might have seen it, but did it look like there was a projectile that flew underneath it?
That's what I first thought, and I was like, maybe that's a bird.
Yeah, because if
I did see a little black.
Yeah.
What are we doing that we need to have? Oh, that these guys need to be strafing stuff.
Well, so what stood out to me is, why are we no tanks, 4 pylons, clean? That's 6 pylons. Sorry.
Yeah.
Gonky, do you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, exactly. And I've watched this a couple times, man, and I can't tell if there's anything on the wingtips. So
doesn't look like it.
Standard loadout, even so when we had our little spat with Iran back in 2008, doing DCA. So I did DCA, which is defensive counter air against Iran in the Gulf in F-18s, and our loadout always, even just doing Operation Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom, we always had 2 winders. In the F-18, the airplane's actually more efficient with a winder on each wingtip. It acts similar to a winglet.
Yeah.
So it reduces
Stability.
drag. Right. So we would always have 2 winders on the airplane. And this video is a little grainy, but I don't see winders out there. And like Mover said, there's a lot of pylons on this airplane that are empty.
Yeah.
And in combat ops, you are not just going to put all the pylons on just to have them on. Now,
and I don't think we're in the kind of fight that we're going to drop every weapon store on every pylon and then have to go in and strafe. Like, that's not the kind of fight that anyone's in right now. That's like an extremist cast. Like, I need everything you have type situation. I don't believe that that's happening.
Well, it also just flies away. I mean,
Right.
so it just like rolls out. He's doing no threat reaction, no
flares,
items, no nothing. Just
that sucked.
A hard turn because he's going back to the wheel, and I'm gonna go home now.
Yeah, I've looked at this video quite a bit. I watched your clip too, Mover. I think this video is fake. And the reason is, like I alluded to, the loadout doesn't make sense to me, number one. Casmo brings up a good point too. Strafing. I strafed in combat, and there are specific targets that strafing is applicable to, mainly troops in the open, or if there's low collateral damage required. But even then, they have, back when I was flying it, the smallest bomb was 500 pounder. They have since come out with better low collateral weapons. So to Casmo's point, I'm not sure exactly why you'd be strafing unless it is troops in the open. The other thing that doesn't make sense to me is, like Mover alluded to here, there's no threat reaction out of the horny guy. So either he's completely oblivious and just decides he's not going to put out any chaff flares, or I don't know, or maybe he's out or whatever. But so there's no expendables coming out of this airplane, and he just rolls out and flies away like he's at another day at the range. The other thing that doesn't make sense to me is the trajectory of the missile.
Yeah.
So man pads traditionally follow you. And this thing here looks like it just goes straight. Maybe, maybe proxy fuse behind it, right? If that's if that's what they're saying. But even then, proxy fuses normally detonate within range to cause some damage. I don't see
here. This is where it would actually detonate.
Yeah, and but I don't see any. I don't see anything come off of the Hornet, like right there, right? All the stabs are fine. There's no puff of smoke out of the motors, from anything damaging the tailpipes or anything. And then also having strafed in combat and having done several what we used to call show of forces. So we would fly down really low to the bad guys, and obviously in a man pad. So man pad is, portable, basically heat-seeking surface-to-air weapon. You never go into combat by yourself, so you always have a wingman, and your wingman's job is basically to look behind you, check your six. So standard protocol is your wingman is eyeballs out, and as soon as he sees a launch from the ground, right? And man pad, the range is relatively limited because we're talking about a human being be able to carry this thing, so they can't be too large. As soon as something pops off, he's going to be calling a brake turn, and for sure you're going to see expendables come out of this jet, and you are going to see a much more aggressive brake turn out of this Hornet. This guy is just doing a standard turn. There's no vapes. Sorry, go ahead, man.
No, I was going to ask, do you guys have the capability of being warned of a missile launch? Like, is there a CMOS type? Like, I know like a radar launch, but like any launch.
Yeah, the old ones, it was eyeballs.
Right.
But like I said, more importantly, man, it's two-man tactics, right? So somebody's always up there. And also, like, no kidding, when I was doing show of forces, and when I strafed in combat, dude, when I came off target, I'm looking, right?
Right.
You're looking, right? So there's a lot of things in this video to me that just doesn't add up. You know, not kicking out flares with a semi-modern man pad and not being hit is also a question in my mind, because the newer ones are pretty. I don't know what kind they're alleging this one is, but there's just too many things that don't add up for me. Now, that being said, have I been wrong before? Yes, but I think it's fake. But that's just me. I don't know. Mover, did I say anything that jiggled your brain there as far as, oh yeah, I didn't think about that?
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I don't know about, the only thing that makes me question is the 3 different angles, right? It's a very, they did a lot of work to fake it, and then they faked a miss. Although the IRGC did say that they hit and that the pilot ejected later, but it's funny. When this was going around on social media, they're like, some of the actual fighter pilots were coming out saying, this guy's going to be in Top Gun because they're going to show this video as how to evade a missile. And he literally does nothing. Like, he just does,
like Han Solo. I know a few maneuvers and don't do anything. Yeah.
He did nothing. He just drove and all right, roll out, go home. I want to know about the weapons. Where were they? Why?
Wouldn't you, if you were in this environment where you had man pads and other types of systems in preponderance, and you were in a situation where you were coming in to strafe, would you not pre-flare and like post flare? I don't know the word, but flare coming off the target anyway?
Yeah.
And if you didn't have flares, would you go in and do a gun run?
I'd go home.
Right.
I bet that's a no-go, man.
Like a criteria, like you can't, like literally, like it's against the rule, unless it's like in extremis, somebody's pinned down, which by the way, we don't have any boots on the ground, so that can't possibly be the situation.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's probably a no-go. I when you're talking about, where you're 19 in Afghanistan, all right, you're probably okay.
Right. Yeah.
But week 3 with Iran.
That's right.
So
yeah. Early Iraq was very different from late Iraq.
Correct.
For the exact reasons that you're alluding to. Like
exactly.
The capabilities and the systems in play are very different. And so we can get away with a lot more. That's 100%.
Yeah.
I would say, though, it's possible that they're strafing, because they are strafing, especially around the coast, the boats.
Yeah.
So
I can see strafing
this
boats.
This is coastal. That was the other thing too, Gonky. I brought it up in the video. Dude, if this were a hard turn, man, there's no vapes. Like, you can't see the leading edge flaps digging in and the legs. Like, he's putting no energy on this jet. Like, there's no G.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a lazy turn. I mean, it's a turn, but it's a lazy turn. So he's completely unaware. Or she could go.
I don't know. Maybe it's me, man, but there's that one angle where it shows the ships, and that tanker to me looks fake. Like, it looks like out of a game. But again, man, like I said, there's just from this piece of footage here, there's just too many things that strike me as really weird. But hey, listen, I'm not tip of the spear anymore. Maybe they're doing business differently these days.
Maybe they're just lazy turns.
Flying around with the gear down.
Maybe there's no flares left.
This kind of would be the equivalent of parking your E3 right next to an
let's bring up a good point.
That's why I say what I say, Mover.
What's bad is good again, and up is down.
Yeah. We can't afford the gas for a brake turn, so just
just do. You know what? Leave it and blower. Leave it and blower and hope for the best.
I mean, to me, that's the only thing that makes this authentic is he's not in blower, right? So if you're being shot at by something that is seeking you via heat, well, maybe not in burner would be the best bet. I don't know, but this piece of footage here, there's just too many things about it. I don't. Doesn't make sense to me. Now, but Mover, there was that one footage, the one that Doug played at the beginning, and I didn't notice it before, but it looks like there was the first shot that missed.
What, Doug? Can you pull that up? I don't know.
Could have
The
been
first video.
could have
There's a
been
little
my
black
eyes.
dot. I thought it was like a bird or something.
Did you? Yeah, maybe it was a bird.
But I did see a black because initially I thought that's what we were kind of looking for.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Scams, birds, all the same.
Watch down at the kind of the bottom third of the screen.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it kind of goes like
That's a
this.
bird.
There. Yeah, that's a bird.
Well, maybe not to the Iranians.
Well,
Trained bird.
birds aren't real, so
Chem-
obviously.
chemtrail bird.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this the same?
Different angle. See,
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
thing is they got 3 different angles of this. That's the only reason I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't hit it, but I'm saying the footage is.
I don't know, man.
Anyway,
You could make
Yeah.
3 different fakes, Mover.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on because it's
we
getting
agree
late.
that we don't know.
We agree.
Joe says we're hot women there, as in Blue Thunder. Oh, at Kid Rock's house. Yeah.
Some of
They're
them
the
had
ones
all their
filming.
teeth.
Gonky, during your time in Malaysia, were they worried about drones around their bases as well?
No, sir. No. That was 10. Gosh, that was 10 years ago. No, they
Drones
weren't.
didn't exist.
They were worried about birds.
Sharkbait says, is Kid Rock's house on top of a hill? If so, how high was the helicopter above terrain under them?
I don't understand the point of the question though.
They're saying, so are
What
they
page is
hovering? Like what was the, because there's stuff down here that's
The
farther
lateral
away.
distance between them and the house.
No,
That was
like,
not
so
very
they're-
far.
They're
Yeah.
laterally, they're not far, but like, were they like at 100
What was-
feet AGL? Because like, what's the radar altimeter reading?
Yeah.
I know, but what? I don't. I still don't understand. Like the why, I guess, is like what is the point of that question? Does that validate what was done? Like I'm trying to understand. Like
No,
who
I
cares?
think that's
It's
probably what he's
1,000
getting-
feet. There,
Yeah.
it was 1,000 feet.
Well, because then
Kid
you got
Rock's is up on a
1,000
mountain.
feet to pedal turn and escape.
Okay, so you're okay. So relative to a single engine failure, yeah, sure, that's fine. I just didn't understand the point of the question. That's all.
Hey,
I'm not throwing shade.
you did, and for
That's
$6.99 Canadian, I think you
It's
can.
like $2.
But we appreciate it. Male Karam says Chuck Norris would have won this war already.
Valid.
He's
Yeah.
gone.
Daryl says Mover looks like Chuck Norris with the beard. Thank you. I'm doing it in his honor. 1337 Pro Kill 3R. Love you guys. Have you seen the Ukrainian drone kill from a trainer with a AR-15? Yes. I think we've covered something like that. Joe says Japanese X-Hack Mover. No, they're nice, dude. They're very nice.
That's funny.
MJ says last time Mover suddenly went dark, Gonky thanked him for wearing pants. Yeah.
Never know when the camera's going to kick back on, man.
Aaron says it's pronounced Herbert.
Oh, that was while you were gone.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't put an L there if that was true.
Tom
Like
says
salmon.
Gonky. Hey, look, that's an Apache.
Yes, I can't see it.
Is it?
That's an Apache, but now I don't want to read his
Pants.
comment. Gonky, Mover can't talk crap
That
about
is-
your computer. My computer is
Oh,
fine.
that's Tom.
It was the camera.
Yeah.
The battery died, which I don't understand that because it's plugged in and USA Tech says, I saw 2 F-18s fly over Route 20 in New Jersey 2 months ago. Thank you for the show. Don't film it, for the love of God.
Don't film it if they hover outside your house. If they fly over, it's okay.
Yeah.
Tom says, Doug, it's an old Bertil Ruse car from 2019, just before the school changed ownership, shut down. Did Skip Barber F4 the following year. Wow.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Full Afterburner USA says, Casmo, you said they're removing girls from combat. How all will that work? Just no new ones or ending careers? No new would be the way I think.
I don't know the policy, but I know enough guys who still work in the Puzzle Palace who have told me that it is in the works. So does that include pilots? Because I think the real drama that the current people have is, like women serving in infantry and armor and things like that. But yeah, I don't know the particulars, but I know that there's enough talk about it to know that it's potentially coming down the pike.
Pipcore says A-10s arrived in a UK base today.
Thought we were
All
getting
right.
rid of those.
All right. We got an A-10 thing next.
They're useless.
So, Doug, you got the article first?
Wait, the A10 article?
UAL, close call, Black Hawk.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah. All right. So, breaking-ish news. FAA is investigating close call between a passenger plane and military helicopter in California. United Airlines flight came within a few hundred feet this week of a military helicopter near John Wayne Airport in SoCal, triggering an alarm directing the pilots to change course. The FAA said Friday it's investigating the incident that happened around 8:40 p.m. Tuesday when a Black Hawk helicopter returning from a training mission crossed into the plane's path. Pilots of the passenger plane carrying 162 passengers and 6 crew members stopped their descent and leveled off to avoid a collision. This close call comes after the AAL jet in DCA. The crash increases scrutiny. Is that it? Is that the whole article? Oh, no. So earlier this month, the FAA changed policy as a result of the 2025 crash, requiring air traffic controllers to actively use radar to direct helicopters and planes around airports nationwide, rather than relying on pilots to see and avoid each other. That's what I was talking about earlier in the show about the visual separation versus radar sep. Whether they had seen the plane and improved letting them avoid it. Slide or scroll down.
That's it.
That's the whole thing. All right. Go to the...
There's another 2 paragraphs.
In a short statement, FAA said during the final approach to John Wayne Airport in Orange County, pilots on United Flight 589 were advised by air traffic control. You know what? Play the audio.
I hate that airport.
In the new Area 51, which we love, he does a great breakdown. Play that audio, please.
It's United 589, join airport 3 o'clock, 12 miles. It's United 589. At 589, Silver's approach 20 right. Visual approach.
All right, he's cleared the visual 20 right.
Headed 589, helicopter traffic 11 o'clock, 4 miles westbound, the 860 helicopter 1900 descending. For that traffic, United 589. Southwest 45, United 589, 11 o'clock, 2 miles westbound, 860, 1600. It's United 589. At 589, thank you, Joe and Tower 268. Over to Tower United 589.
They call it in sight.
Left turn at Echo. Left at Echo. United 589. Just want to clarify here. Did you get just a traffic call reference to helicopter, or did they restrict your altitude or anything? We had a resolution advisory for United 589 RA. Okay, so you guys had an RA. Okay, thank you. And we're going to be addressing that because that was not good. And you can
All right, hit the right arrow, Doug. So the helicopter crew was at 1450, and the United crew was descending at 2,000 feet. The bottom of the Class C shelf is at 2,000 feet. So the helicopter crew was operating underneath the Class C. And if you read New Area 51's post, he talks about it being a nothing burger because they not only descended to remain clear of the Class Charlie shelf, but did so by 450 feet, which I'm assuming they wanted to be sure they were not going to be cause havoc for the arrivals. United pilots had them in sight, but TCAS gave them an RA, and then they said that shouldn't have happened. So the question, gentlemen, and I start with Casmo, is this a big deal that they got an RA and then this is the news and oh my God, it's another mishap waiting to happen, or are we now playing Chicken Little?
I mean, first of all, I hate going to that airport. I go there quite a bit and it's always busy and always a mess. Second of all, if they were that low, I mean, you guys know better than me. The RAs are usually triggered by closure rate. It's not the actual distance, but it's an anticipatory number, right? So like if your rate is high, then the distance is going to be greater. So maybe they had a higher than normal closure rate at the time, and then that set it off. I don't know.
I think what they ended up saying was it was 500 feet vertical and quarter mile laterally is how far they crossed from each other. Or they were about to cross.
I mean, didn't they say they saw the helicopter traffic?
They did. No, they called traffic at sight.
Look, the other day I flew into New York airspace and I had a traffic advisory pop up and it told me it was 10 miles in front of me, 500 feet below. Then a second later, it was 200 feet below me, 3 miles ahead of me. And I literally braced because I was like, we're going to run into this thing. We were in the clouds, couldn't see anything. And I was like, we're about to die. And then it just disappeared. I don't know what it was. So I guess what I'm saying is like, maybe there was just some sort of system fault that caused this. But again, if you saw the helicopter, like this is not a 1-to-1 ratio with the DC thing because those guys never saw the helicopter.
No, they did the last second. There's a new video.
Yeah, the last second, sure.
The very last second they saw it. And they got a TA too because back then, or still at that altitude, RAs are inhibited below 1,200 feet versus this was at 2,000 feet. But if you look at it, if anybody shares responsibility of this, it's United Crew because they were cleared the visual. They called the airport and site, cleared the visual approach. Were they high slam dunk trying to get on altitude, which gave them a high descent rate, which gave them a high rate toward the helicopter, which gave them an RA because it's assessing the closure rates and the predictive nature of it. And all it did was tell them to level off at 2,000 feet. Yeah. It didn't go around. It just level off.
Exactly. So in that airport in particular, I've had to do more slam dunk approaches into that airport than just about any other. It's just a busy airspace. It's not like it's bad controllers. It's just a very busy airspace. There's a lot going on. There's a ton of small airplanes there. So to be slam dunked into there is more than possible. So yeah, it just seems a little. Well, I don't know that anyone's making a big deal out of it though. I mean, ATC, they didn't.
No, they are.
I mean, based on what I just saw, like I don't know anything else other than what you guys.
The news is because this actually led the headlines with, did we almost have another DCA with because it's Army Black Hawk helicopter and Airliner, and you put those two together, and people are like, it's 9/11 times 1,000.
Yeah, that's it. End of days. No, I don't think it's that big of a deal. The crew didn't sound all that shaken up to me.
Gonky, what do you think?
Yeah, the United jet was kind of in the descent right to the airport.
Yeah, they were given the visual approach, so they were.
So, this kind of scenario almost played out for me. I don't know, a couple flights ago, but like literally, I was descending, and we could see the traffic that was being called out to us, and the cap. I was just getting, I was doing my standard. Let's see how fast this thing can go in the descent, right? Just kidding. But the captain goes, "Hey man," he's like, "You're doing great, but let's just slow down the descent because you're about to give yourself an RA." Which may have been what happened to this United crew. They're just trying to descend. They know they're not going below 2,000. Right. The helicopter's not going up. He's like, we're staying down here, at 19.5 or whatever, or lower. And like you said, Mover, the RA was, level off, and they did. And they passed, and they saw him the whole time. So I think it's it's an example of how the system should work. Right. I mean, hey, your traffic is here. You got him? Yes. Cool. Your traffic is here. Still got him? Yes. Cool. You're clear of the visual. Switch tower. Have a nice day. The onboard collision avoidance system is doing its job because it senses you guys are descending really fast. And if you don't stop this, not knowing they probably want to stop it, right? Because it's a machine, you could hit this helicopter. So that's why it gave him the RA. The only thing. And now, granted, they got those United guys got their hands full, but I think technically you're supposed to report an RA if you get one to ATC when it happens. I know
you got to write a report,
right? That's after the fact, but like our procedures, if you get an RA, is once you're complying with it, the pilot monitoring keys and mic says, "Hey, heads up, tower approach, whatever. We just got an RA. We're complying." Even if you've been cleared for the visual. But other than that, man, I think this thing went as usual which means nothing really happened.
Right.
Yeah. What was the runway?
It's like
Was it-
2-3
was that
or
2-0
2-6 or something. Yeah, it's
I've
2
never been
something.
there.
Yeah, it's the only one I've ever landed on. It's the right. I think the right side. I think the left
2-0,
side's a
right?
tiny one. Yeah.
I mean, you're right, Mover. You take airliner and helicopter, put it together, and people lose their minds. I mean, you know, at altitude, jetliners are constantly crossing each other at like 1,000 feet with like 1,000 knots of closure, right? I mean, like,
Doug,
right?
Can you go back to the Area 51 post real quick?
I think people are losing their minds.
All right, go back to the beginning of those tapes.
Oh, what runway?
Hit play. Hit play.
3 o'clock, 12 miles.
Yes, 589.
That's 589, Silver's approach 20 right.
Okay, choose your right. Now hit the next
Right,
the
589.
slide.
United 5.
Right slide. So they were at 2,000 feet out there. Now we're to witch hunt against the helicopter dudes because,
Yeah.
you know, they're going to get, well, the Army's investigating. Well, what were you guys doing? Well, we were underneath the Charlie by 500 feet. What's your question?
Well, no, the way this will work is the FAA will call the Army, and the Army will say, "Yeah, we'll take a look at it," and then they'll be like, "What were you guys doing? What we're supposed to be doing? Cool." And just case closed.
Yeah.
Well, it's stupid hate against the wrong target, right? Somebody here, Jason says military helos, they're not halos, they're helos, should be nowhere near civilian flight approaches. What are you even talking about? Go back to sleep. What does military helicopters have to do? You know what? I had to do a go around this past week, the second go around in my entire jet career. Why? Because of a Cessna, a civilian Cessna, who couldn't get off the runway fast enough. I got everything out. I'm going as slow as I possibly can, watching this freaking Cessna land on the runway and then take half of the runway to get off. And I'm like, go around. I can't wait for this dude any longer. So what does that have to do with military helicopters?
Well, Casmo, the
Stupid.
reason is because that's what the TV is. That's what
Right,
the TV
that's what
is
the
telling
news has
people.
told you to think. The news,
That's because we had a crash and scared everybody because we watched in real time an airliner hit an Army Blackhawk.
That's right. One time.
But in Casmo's defense, man, I mean, it could have
One
been a
time
little
too many.
Cessna doing a night flight
No, it
around
is.
the, you know, I mean,
But what people don't understand is that scenario happens all the time. It happens all the time. I was just in Canada the other day, coming into some untowered airport, and I'm like, oh, this should be cool because the weather's shitty. Guess what? 5 Cessnas in the pattern at nighttime. I had one dude, I'm on final. I called Challenger Jet 5-mile final for landing runway, blah, blah, blah. And I hear this dude go, we just turned final for runway so-and-so. I said, you have a jet behind you going 130 knots right now. Like, why are you turning to final right in front of me?
yeah,
know?
people have to understand. I mean,
They
it's
don't
not
understand.
uncommon for airplanes to get
It's not.
close. I mean, I wish I had a camera with me, but one of the coolest sights I've ever, something really cool that happened to me at Eglin was, as Mover would know, that's a joint use base, right? So we used to come into the overhead in a T-38. Well, numerous times airliners would be landing. So they're doing a straight in. We get cleared for the overhead. So, I mean, I have overtaken airliners at a couple hundred knots, passing over them, you know, within, 500 feet. And it's no big deal, right? I mean, because we're all visual, right? Everybody sees everybody. It's all good to go. I mean, dude, these things are going to happen anytime. That's why takeoff. That's one of the many reasons why takeoff landing is the most dangerous time, right? Because I mean, you have aircraft of all different flavors converging on these on the aerodrome, right? So,
Right.
what do you got to make the helicopter go?
Good
No,
term.
you people have to land way out in this field and then ride a bus. You know,
Hey, Americans making people do that.
that's true. Like that.
I did see the American bus in Philadelphia. I thought it was a joke,
Yeah.
but
No,
there were
no.
people getting on the
Hey.
American bus.
Jet fuel's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So is an E3.
Oh, dude.
I
Here
know.
we go.
It hurts my heart.
Let's see. Ozzy says, well, if you're a Chuck, you have to start speaking third person. Mover doesn't wear a watch. He decides what time it is. That's funny. Can you comment on the KC-46? Well, Casmo's already made his opinion known.
I think Casmo summed it up, didn't he?
What did I say?
The
It's not done yet, right? That's all.
No, it's out. It's out.
Oh, is
The
it?
thing is, I think what's the tough part is having the boom watching from the camera. That's
Is that how they do it? They don't have a dude laying on the bed or whatever.
No,
watching
they
out
don't have the
window?
chin rest anymore.
It's only worked great for like 60 years. Let's complicate this.
Yeah. Let's see. Ken's Eagle.
Thanks, man.
Is that the one I just unstarred, Doug? I think he said
I restart it. What's next?
it doesn't exist. I'd unstarred it.
Oh,
But he said the thing about a couple weeks at the Middle East, it takes 10 years. Is that what he was?
Said the worst part of a 1 month war in the Middle East is the first 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah. Oof. That's terrible. Ozzy also says, by the way, how do you guys feel about Waymo autopilot taxis? Have you taken one? Finally got the app and took it a few times. Uneventful and nice to not concentrate on driving. Interesting in getting 3 pilots' perspectives. Would you take it? Gonky, that is the self-driving taxi with the thing on the roof. Why would you take that and not just take an Uber? At least you get some conversation.
Thanks, Ozzy. Dude, I don't know. The whole... So from a pilot's perspective, my buddy about 2 months ago, he gave me a ride in a Tesla with the full self-driving. And, I was a uninformed skeptic prior to that. But after watching that thing make a lot of complex decisions, I mean, I hate to say it, but I realized I'm like, dude, being a commercial pilot, I don't think it's going to be a thing like much longer, because that car pulled out into 4 lanes of traffic, did a U-turn, all lane changes, signal blinker, the whole night, pulled us into the Jimmy John's parking lot, parked itself. I mean, it was amazing. Because the whole time I'm sitting here thinking like, this thing is making way more complicated decisions than I have to make flying a jetliner with autopilot on. So I think it's amazing in a car. I think it's amazing because it's kind of like in an airplane when you have the autopilot on. I think you're actually a better pilot because then you can fully grasp everything that's going on, right? So I like it. I dig it. So yeah, that's my.
I was with a guy the other day or a while back, and he told me about how he rode one of those one time, and it took him to the hotel he was supposed to go to, and it stopped in the left lane of like a 3-lane highway for him to get out. And he's like,
Frogger,
what are you gonna do? Right. I mean, like, how do you fix that situation? So I don't know.
I'm sure it's not perfect
for me,
but...
dog.
I just wish Tesla full self-driving was available in like cooler vehicles than Teslas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude. All the Tesla fanboys are gonna roll in there.
Like, I love Super Cruise on my Yukon. I would like that in my Yukon.
Yeah, the Tesla has that self-driving thing doped out. My buddy also bought a Cybertruck, and then I actually drove that one with self-driving, and in fact, it's good enough. My parents are in their 80s. I already told my dad, but when we go home to visit this summer, I'm doing a hard push for him to get one, not because it's an electric car, but because the self-driving, he's in his 80s and it can see and drive better than him and my mom. And it's powered by Grok, right? So you can literally get in it and say, take me to the hospital, and it'll take you there. Take me to Burger King. It'll take you there.
Doug, there you go. There's your answer.
Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier.
I've actually had this conversation with my wife.
Yeah.
It's legit. And I'm gonna tell my dad at least one. 3 years from now, it'll be even better. Right?
Doug, literally, we talked about this.
I ran the map, dude. Tesla's pretty. I went to the website. You can, with a credit card, you can buy one right there online. So it's wild, man. The self-driving stuff is wild, and I think it's
Gonky. If you're gonna promote this, we need a promo code.
Yeah.
I need some money.
Have a link?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Elon anything, dude. If you
Use promo code Gonky.
You're not going to get a promo code from Elon today. I promise you that, my friend.
Hold on. Wait, let me text him. Let me ask him here real quick.
Robert says, Casmo, that alert in New York that had you bracing, did you ever find out what it was or just your system glitch? Unknown. Dude, this is your alien story.
UFO, dude.
Yeah, dude. You could be the next Max Afterburner.
Oh, boy.
I'll have to set my camera up, the crotch cam, when I play these stuff.
You gotta smash that subscribe button. Sorry.
Smash. And here's my aftershave brand or whatever.
So
no, I even ATC didn't say anything because they would also like get the alerts too, I believe, and they didn't say anything. So I don't know, but it scared the I was scared. I was like, and then the spirit was like, we lived.
Aliens. Robin says, this is why I love Casmo. Speaks the truth. I'd love to buy him a drink at the Pick and Pig just up the road from Vietnam.
That's Fayetteville. That's Fort Bragg. It's just down the street. I don't know the Pick and Pig, but I will go there because I heard there's a free drink waiting for me.
This is why people like you, Casmo. I don't know anything about that bar, but I'm headed there now.
I love the divier the bar, the better. That's my jam. Love it.
Well, Afterburner USA is now arguing with Jason, who says your opinion is wrong, sir. Thank you.
Oh, here we go. This is how we generate revenue.
Oh, no.
Michael says, agree with Mover on the Waymo. Tech companies are trying to isolate everybody and play social interaction with tech, and I hate it.
That's true.
Don't get me wrong. I hate people. So I am for anything that keeps me away from them.
Dude, I literally think one of these days, like, if you can sell the human experience, it's going to be a big thing.
Isn't that what podcasts do?
We need to have those like taxis and what was that? Not Running Man. What was that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? With the Mars.
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Remember they had the Jimmy
Don't
Cab.
ask Gonky.
I'm the Jimmy Cab. Welcome aboard.
No, but I mean, you kind of see it. I mean, I have young kids, and you see it with kids, man. Like give them an iPad, they disappear for hours, right? That kind of stuff. So, I mean, dude.
District Under Oak says, hey, Grok, take me to the bar.
Yeah.
Gonky, what do you want to do? We got time for like one more. You want to do the A330?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
All right. Douglas.
Have you seen this, Casmo?
I'm going with the inside video first.
Engine explodes. No, I have not.
Watch this, man. A330.
Play the audio.
Taking off.
I want to hear these.
No, taking off.
The weird. It looked like another plane next to him.
No.
Ew. That's why you never take video of your engine. If you're on a plane, don't video outside because that's when the engine explodes.
It's 4th of July.
Don't scream.
I love it.
How about that?
I love it.
How about we normalize just shutting up?
Yeah, that's right.
What are you going to do by screaming?
Feel better.
Dude, if you close it, it feels like a normal flight.
Just watch your movie. You'll be fine.
Yeah, close it, dude. I don't want to see it.
You don't even hardly notice in the back.
Actually, you probably should close it for the debris that's about to go through your window.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, Delta.
But you know the captain's got his hat.
He's making $400 an hour right now.
He's making it
$450.
He's rotating the ball cap backwards, man. It's ECAM time, baby.
He's like, this is what I get paid for.
It's ECAM time. All right, FO. Let's make your money. You can't
give me a meow on guard and let's get it on.
That's right, dude.
I've had wartime missions in peacetime and peacetime missions in wartime. I've got you back there.
Yeah.
Call me
Ladies and
Hollywood.
gentlemen, this is Captain speaking.
So what's happening right now is the autopilot is flying the plane. And they're sitting there and be like, dang it, man.
They're in the
bags
books.
are packed. This is go home leg.
You're right. There's a dude in the jump seat. Like, damn it.
Hey, you think
How's
we can
the
just keep
FB?
going?
Yeah.
All right, play the video from externally, Douglas.
Yeah.
Engine
There's
explodes.
I think there's a larger one, so to speak.
Wow.
AI video.
Whoa.
Oh,
That
dude,
is
it started a fire.
It was on a man pad.
It started a fire. Where they at? San Paulo or
Sao Paulo?
Sao Paulo.
I don't think it was Sao Paulo, was it?
I don't know. Man. I mean,
Uy, pero es que la explosión fue fuerte.
Try,
Yeah, Sao Paulo.
try pronouncing that one.
Bro, who is this?
dude, I mean, you got to hand that motor is done. Oh,
Yeah, I would say
think?
that
dude.
that will not buff out.
Dude.
That's Sao Paulo.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know of any other.
Man, look at that.
The good news is there was no helicopters nearby, so we're going to
Yeah,
continue on.
exactly, dude. All
look
the
at the
screaming
wing.
would have stopped, Captain.
Look under the wing, dude. It torched some of the.
Look at the
under
leading edge
wing.
flap. Although, mover, that could
Oh
be
my
from
gosh.
the
Oh,
the
the
firefighter.
ARF. Yeah,
Yeah.
they hosed it down after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Dang, dude.
they earned their money. Good job.
Yeah. Great job by the crew.
I mean, listen, all I'm going to say is you don't need to scream back there. You know why? Because this is literally all we do in training. When we go to
Yeah.
training, or when y'all go to training every 6 to 9 months or
Us
a year.
employed people.
Yeah. It is the same thing. Oh, like this is what they practice every single time. Every single time.
V1, rotate.
Yeah, it's the same one. And I'm sure the A3, I wonder if the A330 is like the 7.8 or the 777. Their 777 will start trimming itself out on the ground.
Yeah.
The 7.8, when you get airborne, it trims itself out. So your leg's not tired. You know, as soon as you get airborne, you get a couple 100 feet, you hit the autopilot on, LNAV, VNAV, or heading select, track select.
I wish
I've been
had that.
told it's just like the A320, which means you have to trim it.
Really? On the
Yeah.
330?
And so I've been told I
Man's
don't fly
airplane
the
over here.
330. I fly the 320 series, but I've been told it's the same airplane with like one more hydraulic system.
So you do have to trim it. Okay, well.
So you got to do the rudder, which if you watch that external video, there's a longer one. You can see it like kind of do some
hunting
yeah,
trim.
which is probably the Capitan up there. After he turns his hat around, he's like messing with trying to get the side slip right while he's feeding in the rudder on the center.
How much leg you got to use though?
Yeah, it's quite a bit. It's quite
Challenger,
a bit.
you got to use every
Yeah,
bit of it.
it's quite a
Going
bit.
full leg.
Exactly. And in the Skybus in the A320, you hold it for 15 seconds. It's a long time, dude. So I mean, I just hold it.
In the 7.3, it was like forever.
Yeah, I
And
count
you still
15. Yeah. And then dude, once that happens, boom, you hit the autopilot and then it's doing its thing. But
Yeah.
there
Well,
is-
yeah. Just yeah, the Challenger to an extent, but then it'll do this if it gets way out of whack. So you got to
Right.
keep it trimmed.
Yeah. Now, one time early in my career, like they gave me a V1 cut and I took off. I didn't trim anything. Boom! I just hit the autopilot and it hacked it. And the sim instructor was like, "Wait!" And then boom! It like nothing. I was like, "What?" It's like you forgot to trim. I'm like,
Gonky gets away with everything.
pass.
I've got the other video Gonky was talking about if you want to see it.
Play it.
Yeah, play it. Like,
I grabbed it just as they took off.
yeah, exactly. And then like watch,
Bo.
and you can see it kind of do a little Dutch roll thing,
Yeah, there you go.
like right in here.
Right.
Dude,
See that? See it,
Engine
y'all?
Shelling out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all.
There,
Really
I
heavy
can see
there?
a big yaw there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have felt that in the cockpit or in the cabin.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Oh,
Oh, definitely.
that's
in the
why they're
back.
screaming.
That's why they're screaming.
You're getting the money's worth, an airplane ride and a little roller
I
coaster.
flew a lady up to New Jersey the other day, a couple days ago, and we were getting rocked. We got down really low and we were just getting thrown around. And I remember her saying she really didn't like bumps. And so I looked back at her and she's just sitting there. And she's just like staring us up at the front. And I just went, like this. Gave her the thumbs up. And then we landed. I was like, well, that was fun, wasn't it? She goes, I'm so glad you gave me a thumbs up because I was so worried. But when you did that, I felt so much better. I was like, oh, that's good.
Kaz was like, look, both hands. No way.
Yeah, we're okay. Oh God. I was getting icky. I was like, oh, we're really getting thrown.
You want to come fly this thing?
Yeah, take over.
Love it.
Wow.
But yeah, it does I mean, when you're in the back, I get it. Like you have no control. You're along
Yeah.
for the ride. So
and also, I mean, we're poking fun here, but I mean, if you look at the television, it like all these news agencies, they're great at just pumping out like, air travel, like dun dun dun, helicopters are bad, engine failures are bad, like there's all these incidents now. I think they're definitely adding fuel to the fire as far as fear of flying goes. And we've said it many times on this show. It's the safest form of transportation out there. And it still is. Like I stand by that.
It still is. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that topic, gentlemen. We've reached the end of topics. We're going to get some super chats. And then Gonky has directed me.
I'm asking. I was just asking, dude.
You've directed. Tic Tac's got my back says, that was me visiting New York. Sorry, I dropped the cloak for a moment on accident.
That's you, Casmo.
That's you.
Yeah, TikTok. He was your RA, sir, or your
Took
TA.
10 years off Casmo's life.
Yeah.
Nate says, I wonder if people would be willing to get on a plane without a human flying it. I bet people like seeing a pilot that also has interest to get home at the end of the day.
I don't know, man. I've wrestled with this question, but it's like, okay, your manned trip cost $1,000. Your unmanned one cost $200.
Yeah.
I almost want to say the unmanned jet's full.
Yeah.
Could be wrong though.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not. I think eventually we'll see unmanned and people will be like, man, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Full Afterburner USA says, LOL. Yeah. Why does bro do crotch shots during DCS? Glad I'm not the only one who thought that was a little weird.
So you can see the stick, bro.
It's so bizarre.
So you can see the stick.
Spider says, Gonky, you can sell human experience with Neuralink. Robin says, check out the Pick and Pig. You can fly in and eat, sit and watch planes land. It's amazing.
That's why I
Sometimes
know
military
it. I have heard of that place. Yeah, I've never been there.
Thank you.
Bob says, everyone hit the like button and the hype button. There's a hype button now for this awesome stream. Also, don't forget to subscribe to these guys. Great show, Just Dudes. Thanks.
Wow, thanks, man. Appreciate
Just
you.
Dudes.
Ozzy, man. Thank you.
Ozzy.
Waymo is interesting for sure. The seniors pick up everything, pedestrians, traffic, and respective directions. I don't like the idea of getting rid of taxis or Uber, but the safety argument, didn't flying become more safe with autopilot? That's true.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way.
That's an automation. That's not
replacing.
Completely.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they found that automation has increased a lot of threats.
It can, over reliance on it.
Yeah, because so many people are reliant, and we see that a lot in my job. The guys that get very reliant on automation, then they come to work for us, and yeah.
So in the Hornet, they didn't call it an autopilot. This always struck me as odd, but it was pilot relief modes, is how we were taught to refer to the autopilot functions that it had. So I think that's the intent. Instead of trying to hold your altitude exactly. HAL can do that for you and you can be eyeballs out. But you're right, Casmo. I mean, there's over-reliance on that stuff too.
Yeah. BJ Turin says, folks, this is your captain. We still got one good engine, and that's not bad because this isn't an Army Apache.
We're above safe single engine airspeed. We're going to be fine. Yeah. That's all that matters.
Stretch says, I won't scream. I'll just put my hands in the air and say, wee. Ben says, am I the only person who hopes for the engine to go bang every time I fly commercial? Yes.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Because you're going to end up at your departure.
Yeah. And they're going to lose your bags for sure.
Oh, dude,
100%.
No, you don't want that drama.
You'll be there for hours. Yeah.
Holly Movie Star says, now that's some spicy cheese, the engine.
It's quite spicy.
MJ says, the guy who sweats and yells all the time in the Top Gun died. That's the news. Or something. That's true. James Tolkien.
Yeah.
He was very sweaty, though.
Stinger.
And he was the principal, man. And
his name?
James Tolkien, yeah.
No, I mean Stinger. That was his name?
Stinger was his call sign, yeah.
What is that in the comics? Like, how do we know this?
Comics.
Is that an expanded cinematic universe?
If you look at the credits, he's Stinger. He's whatever Commander something Stinger.
He's in a lot of great
number
movies,
4.
man.
Yeah.
Afterburner USA says, Casmo, you seem to fly in the New York airspace often. You live around here?
Turns out a lot of rich people live or go to the New York area.
Six Stringer guy says, this just in, there were 6,580 uneventful flights today. That's
a good thing.
All right, Gonky, to wrap this up, you made a post today. I helped correct it.
I can't spell.
Leave us a comment on what you'd like us to cover on tonight's show. See you all tonight. So Cameron says, if everyone on the show could choose their dream aircraft to own and fly whenever they wanted to, what would it be and why? It could be military or non-military. Bell 222. Or an H-160.
Probably take a Shorts 360, dude.
Is that an airliner?
Yeah, it's like a Skyvan. Only because
it's an air. I remember it from Sublogic ATP. That's how
I'm RV with wings.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Something I could, because I got family, so something to carry some motorcycles and all my wife's stuff and the kids. And I know it's slow and ugly, but that's where I'm at, dude. It's a minivan.
Casmo.
What was the question? Anything?
Yeah, your dream aircraft to own, fly whenever you wanted.
Oh, I don't know, an F-15.
Nice.
An E.
An E.
B.
So you could take passengers.
That's right. So I could take passengers. We could go on trips.
Do I get to play?
Sure, Doug. What do you take?
I'm going to one up Gonky and go with one of those old PBY RV conversions.
That's also a boat. Thank you.
It's a boat. It's a yacht. It's a cabin in the woods.
Yeah, I want that plane from that old Disney cartoon Tailspin.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Didn't they crash it?
I don't think so, my friend. It's a cartoon.
Rick says, I'm deeply concerned about the disappearing aircraft, many fighters from the A&G. I've read that there's a possibility of extending operational life for the F-16, but that's only a Band-Aid. Mother Air Force has still been over hard on retiring the A-10, retiring the F-15 CD with no known replacements. Always hoping the Air National Guard could get the newer block F-16s and the F-15EX, supposed to be an A&G asset. Looks like Active Air Force is receiving them too. Could you all provide your thoughts on what I fear is an A&G fighter drawdown? Thank you all for your service. It's a terrible thing. That's where all your experience goes. Homeland Defense missions.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it on the show, but I mean, it's just a lot of things going on, right? Airframes wearing out, not being replaced as quickly as they need to be. All the money going to things like F-47, getting the KC-46 figured out. I mean,
yeah,
it's poor planning, I guess.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing.
It's not good.
But yeah, I agree. Air Force Reserve Command's in the same boat.
Yeah.
You need unit-equipped aircraft.
Right.
Brian says, please talk about Captain Steve.
Go ahead, Mover. You start.
Casmo.
All right, I'll start.
Why am I doing this? Like, he needs to maybe take a breath. I don't know. Like, we're not here to poke fun at other creators. He has his opinion too. I don't really care for the way he delivers it. Here recently I saw him on, he's very, very successful at this YouTube aviation news thing, more than we are. But, I saw a little clip of him on Pierce Morgan saying stuff about last week's unfortunate crash between the Canadian CRJ and the fire truck. And I'm just like, man, it irritates me because he knows better. He's a professional pilot, maybe still is, as are all three of us. And the things that he says, I think that he says things that he knows people want to hear more than what is factual. And that bothers me because that makes nobody better. And that really serves nobody. I don't like that. That's just me.
I will just say that the airline uniform is not cool when you're actually doing the job, and is even less cool when you're in front of a camera.
That's a fact.
Look, there's no way to make that cool in public, and you sure as hell are not doing it in your home studio.
Yes, that too.
That's all. Nor is a fake lanyard or all the other crap. Just no. Casmo, you got anything else before I move on to the next one?
No, I have watched a few of those videos, like whatever I kind of mentioned before we started going live. Like I've heard him say a few things that are just not factually correct, which I thought were very strange because they were like very basic level type airline pilot stuff. But I don't like, and this goes for any channel, I don't like when airplane crash and then 2 hours later, airplane pilot have video about airplane crash. Like, take a breath. Like, give it a moment. Like, it's fine to have opinions and stuff, but just like maybe just stop trying to be the first one there. And I just, that's the part that I kind of stopped watching that stuff because I was like, you know what, I'm contributing to this by watching, and I don't want to do that anymore. So my algorithm has learned that lesson. But
you should join Japanese Twitter.
Good. I've heard a lot of good things.
Cal says, has training in the military gotten so bad that we're seeing the effects of it, like the lack of funding and flying hours retention, bad leadership, etc., with the aircraft being hit as frequently as they are? Or is it all just overreaction? We lose equipment every war. I mean, it seems like a mix of both. Ooh.
Well, most of the hits that we've had here recently are just jets parked on the ground, thankfully. But to your point, you know, if you've watched the show for a while, we do talk about the potential and probably very real effects of not having, a new trainer for the Air Force. Let's keep flying the T-38 another 69 years. Like we just talked about, not having enough assets in the Guard, right, to keep people flying, right? So there is no replacement for flight time, and you need mission capable aircraft and trained personnel to make that happen. That includes maintenance, logistics, all that stuff. And that takes funding and money. And that is something that has been rather tight for quite a while now. And we are seeing the effects of it, which is sad. So, you know, we're doing the best we can with what we have. But I mean,
yeah, it's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a rough. We don't have trainers, you know, and we can't afford trainers apparently, or at least we can't get them off online. So I hope we get a course reversal soon, and because you are putting lives at risk when you have, you know, training that is not as good as it used to be. Army's the same way, Casmo. You know, it's amazing how they are using autopilot on down one in the Lakotas, or, you know, don't do full down autos, or, you know, 180 autos to a point or whatever. I mean, some of the stick and rudder skills are just gone.
Yeah, that's the feedback I've gotten from guys that have been in for a while and see the new stuff. I say new, I mean, they've been doing the Lakota thing for a while, even though I think they were now planning to get away from the Lakota. I don't know, but yeah, there's something to be said for that. It's like you mentioned, like when we go to recurrent and stuff, like that's all we practice. Like no one ever goes to recurrent to practice. Well, let's practice landing. Like it's always like your worst day, and it's hard to practice your worst day if you're not allowed to do the worst day type stuff. So yeah, there's a real loss there.
Yeah. And that was it. You can follow us on the Facebooks, Mover and Gonky Show. 1337 Pro Kill 3R. Love you guys. Thank you for the show. Have you seen the Ukrainian piston trainer drone kill with the AR-15? I think he posted this again, but we have seen it. I mean, It's wild, the stuff that they're doing. I mean, it was in a yak, right? Was that the video was in the back with the yak?
Yeah, it was wild.
Ozzy says cockpit casuals greater than captain's.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you. Two Wolf Jaeger, largely agree. It just gasps my flabbers when we host exercises, when we disperse aircraft to show off how well we can do the thing. Then when we're in a shooting war, we don't do the thing.
Yep. That was my big argument at JRTC. We would you know, you only have so much space in the box to put the aviation. And so we would make up these, what we called penalty routes. And so the concept was that the helicopters are actually parked 100 miles away, right? So you would everyone would have to plan as such as they were 100 miles away, even though we're only 10 miles away. So they'd have to fly this long ass route. So they're burning gas or burning time and then come into the box, right? And so that would be simulating this dispersion. Man, as soon as the game started, that went right out the window. It's like, nah, just put them in the box right now. We just need the helicopters there right now. So we don't even practice this stuff. And then, yeah, we don't do it here either. Sad.
Complacency kills.
It does, over and over.
Well, Casmo, thank you for your service, my friend. We appreciate you on the show. Thanks
man.
Thanks for finally saying yes.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to. I've been busy. I gotta get people to New York.
We knew you'd have opinions
when you're out of here.
It's important.
We knew you'd have opinions, and we wanted them.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. At the beginning of the month, Mover's like, yeah, Casmo's coming on in March. I was like, cool. The end of March.
Yeah, I told him. And he's throwing shade at me like 3 weeks ago. He's like, when are you coming on? I said, I'm not available till the end of March. He goes, you said March. And I showed him the text. It says, look here. It says end of March. He goes, oh, I didn't read it that way.
In your defense, it is March, sir. So thank you.
We're all right in our
We're
own
all
way.
right. That's right.
I miss Wombat. Wombat's nice for me. Wombat, come back from truck driving school. We
That's
miss
funny,
you.
dude. That's
All right. Well, we're going to do a show next week, probably. Thank you all.
Yeah.
for
Thanks,
your
everybody.
time. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Doug.
You bet.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.